Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome, everybody, to the latest edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Along with G. Bush and Tyvis Powell, I'm Adam the Bull. We got Mike, Steve, Earl, and Anthony all on the other side of the glass. And a lot to get to today, but we begin with big news, not involving the Browns. We're going to spend most of today's show talking about big news involving the Browns, but there is big breaking news involving the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Beginning on Monday, March 23rd, which is 13 days from now.
That's my sister's birthday.
How old will she be?
She will be, 32? She'll be 38.
Well, happy 38th birthday on March 23rd to your sister. You see it right on the screen. We are going to be changing times. The Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, since its inception on May 9th, 2022, has been on from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll now be moving. We will be on from 10 a.m. to noon. So if you watch us live, you got to start an hour earlier. If you watch us later in the day, well, I guess it doesn't matter. But for a lot of you who watch us live, or at least part of the time live, important to note, this is the first important thing of the two big important things, that we will now be on 10 a.m. to noon instead of 11 a.m. to 1. Again, that will begin on Monday, March 23rd, 13 days from now. The other big part of this is that the first hour of the show, when we move to 10 a.m., from 10 to 11, can only be watched on the WKYC app and not on YouTube. We will be on the WKYC app for the entire show from 10 a.m. to noon. We will remain on YouTube for the second hour of the show, 11 to 12. But to watch the entire show, as you have been doing, or watch any part of the first hour of the show, you have to download the WKYC app if you haven't done so already. I'm told that the Fire Stick, if you buy the Amazon Fire Stick, that the app is already pre-installed. But if you don't have that, or for some reason it's not, and I've been misinformed, you got to download it. It costs absolutely nothing. There is no charge for the WKYC app. There is no charge to watch the show. There is no charge. Nothing that you will do on the WKYC app will cost you any money. The only thing you have to do is download it. It's maybe 30 seconds of your time.
It's free.
It's absolutely free. There's no charges. You can download it to any device, including TVs, and you can watch us just like you have been. You just got to go to a different place. The WKYC app, I use the WKYC app all the time for my weather and other things. So make sure you download that WKYC app. Don't wait until we start on the 23rd. Do it right now.
Matter of fact, here's what we do. While we're talking right now, you can already be halfway done. Let's go ahead. Get on your app. Boom, boom, boom. Search WKYC app. Download it. You already ready to go. You ain't even got to wait for the transition. You ready to go. It don't cost you nothing. It's like hitting the like button. Let's get it going, man. We need everybody to pull up.
It is free.
It's free.
Can I emphasize that?
That's the best part of it. It's free.
100% free.
Yeah.
For those who we still will have, I believe our content will be on YouTube, like your YouTube content. I believe we'll still have the content on there.
Yeah, the second hour of the show
on demand stuff as well.
Will be on YouTube, but to watch the entire show going forward, again, starting on the 23rd, you have to get the WKYC app. In the long term, this is going to be good for the show and the viability of the show. We will immediately on the 23rd, something new to the show that you only see right now. Right now, when we're on WKYC TV locally on Fridays from 12:30 to 1, we take commercial breaks, very short commercial breaks, but we take commercial breaks. And on the 23rd, the entire show will now have commercial breaks. They will be on the shorter end, so it's not like we're going to be disappearing like a radio show for 7-8 minutes. But we will take commercial breaks, and This is a really good thing in the long term for the show, and which in addition will be a good thing for the fans. Again, there's no cost to any of you, none. There will not be a cost. The WKYC app is going to be free. Nothing's changing with that. The only difference is there's some differences internally.
Where you watch us.
Yeah,
it's just all about where you watch.
Where you watch us. And it's good for the show, and it's good for the future of sports in Cleveland. So overall, it's great news, and we're really excited about it. So again, that starts March the 23rd. The show will begin at 10 a.m. It will end at noon. We will do the first hour exclusively on WKYC Plus. So there's your update. We're going to remind you this every day between now and then, but wanted to give you the heads up on that. So there you go.
Before we dive in, bottom line on all these changes, it's because we want to be able to continue doing what we do. And the best way for us as a show to continue being able to do what we do on a daily basis, which is react, give analysis, educate, entertain, inform you guys on the most pressing Cleveland topics, is to change platforms for a little bit and make sure we are financially withstandable and sustainable long term.
That's exactly
So a lot
right.
of the basis behind this.
So it is a good thing for everybody involved once all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed and we figure out everything, which we will. And the show will not really change in any way. Beyond that, we'll have commercials during the show. But again, they won't be long commercial breaks. You'll still get a ton of great content as we always provide, hopefully. At least we hope you think it's great content. So that will continue. And now let's continue to talk about sports. The Browns did not do anything when we were on air yesterday, but obviously they made a couple of significant moves when we went off the air yesterday.
Wait
and
a
now
minute.
yes.
Before we get to that,
Yes.
I got to attempt to jump in front of a bullet for Jason Lloyd.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jason was here, and I got sent messages about 3 or 4 times about what Jason said
Yeah.
about Shador, and I gotta set what I think. This is what I think. All right, Jason, I love you. Okay, bear with me. So Jason sat up here yesterday, and he basically was saying that he can't ignore the fact that, and people got to realize that Jason does work around the building. He has sources. So when he says
This idea that he's making stuff
it's
up
it's
is
not that
absurd.
he's making this up out of thin air. Jason does not hate Shador Sanders. What Jason feels about Shador Sanders as a person and as a football player is 2 totally different things, and people got to understand that. Jason loves Shador as a person, but as a football player, I think Jason's in the camp of if he had a bag of cash and he had to bet on whether Shador would be successful in the NFL or not, he's going to lean more towards not because of the fact that it's the data, the analytics, and all of those things, blah, blah, blah. But when he sat up here yesterday, he said that, Shador doesn't know how to watch film, doesn't know when he's hot, doesn't know all of these things. Like, a lot of people came to me and was like, is all of this true? I don't know. What I will say is this. Where I'm at with the whole Shador thing is that as a former player, what I will tell you is there were some things that happened with Shador last year that was perfectly normal, and then there was things that made me even scratch my head a little bit, okay? The fact that he never got rest with the ones, even through OTAs when it was an open competition, scratched my head a little bit because I thought that was the perfect time to rotate quarterbacks through. However, when you talk about how they handled the situation, skip OTAs, let's get to training camp. When they handled the situation of he didn't get rest with the ones and, he was on a separate field and all of those things, to me, if he was really getting rest with the fours and he was on another field, to me, that probably does go into the fact of the film watching. Maybe he didn't understand the playbook and pick it up right away. That's when you get done like that, that tells me that there is something going on with the learning part of it and speed and catching up with everything to where everybody else, you have some veterans with Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco and all those guys. They were able to work with that. Dylan Gabriel was able to obviously show that he can handle certain things and pick things up a little bit faster, which expedited his experience of getting reps with the 2s and the 1s and things like that. So to me, that part is perfectly normal how they handle Shador. The only issue that I ever had was he never got reps with the 1s up until the week of his start. That's a problem. Like when you become the clear number 2, there are certain periods throughout the practice where you can designate a couple of plays here and there to a Shador Sanders because he is only one injury away. So that part of it is kind of murky to me. As far as him not knowing protections or defenses or when he's hot and all those things, I can't necessarily speak on that because I'm not a quarterback, so I don't know necessarily what goes into that. All I can say is that the reports were that he met with Kevin Stefanski every day to get caught up on everything. So therefore, at some point, he had to learn how to watch film and learn the playbook.
Yeah, that's what Jason was saying.
Exactly.
That he had to,
so when you hear that part of it, it makes me believe maybe he didn't know stuff when he first got in there. If he had to meet with a coach every day to get caught up on the thing, so where people getting that part messed up is where. Bottom line is this: Shedeur Sanders needs to start for the Cleveland Browns next year. Why? Because you have to know what he has. I think that his situation is too murky. There's too much craziness that went on into his starting and all of those things that you really don't know. Now you have two sides of the story. You got people that would say, well, he didn't play well because, look, he had nothing around him. They didn't give him a really fair chance. He didn't get reps with the ones until he started playing. So you got all of these things. And then you got people that say, well, we watched him play and he didn't play well in certain situations when you needed him to the most and blah, 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 blah. That's why you have to give him the whole year where there's none of that going on. There is no Kevin Stefanski. There is no worried about if a coaching staff likes him. You got to fix the offensive line, maybe get a weapon in there, give him all of those things, let him go through 26 so you can leave it alone. So both sides can come together and know this is what it is. There is nothing to say that this isn't work or this is why it didn't work. We need to get rid of all that. We need to have both sides come together because I'm tired of seeing Jason getting killed for his own opinion. That it's an educated opinion because it's not like he's just making this up. Jason is one of those guys that's very respected in his craft. He does a lot of research, and there's a lot of things that he don't report that he should, but he don't because he know he shouldn't. It's going to cause too much riffraff. And that's the part that you don't know about Jason. So therefore, if Jason said it's not, don't stop saying that it's just made up or something like that. Jason heard it from somebody, and typically that somebody is somebody in the building.
Well, I gotta give some pushback because there's two sides to every story. You can hear something from somebody in the building, but that something you heard can actually be not gospel. See, there's two sides to every book. For every person that says Shedeur can't read defenses, I can go and look at a quarterback like Chase Daniels who breaks down how he did read defenses against the Buffalo Bills and how he diagnosed. I could go give you Bernie Kosar who says this is a great job of diagnosing what he's doing right there. I could give you Kurt Warner. So the thing that I think people get to is the definitive nature of it. There's this definitive nature that people speak of as if Shedeur is absolutely garbage. He's not this, he's not that, and it's the absolute level of it. And we're talking about it within a 6-game sample size.
7.
But a couple of things. Number one, that's not really what Tyvis was talking about.
Well, I'm just telling you.
Tyvis was just defending the fact that people are saying he's making stuff up.
Well, no,
he's not making stuff up.
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you what I said. That's what Tyvis said.
Right, but you're saying you're pushing back.
I'm just going to tell you. Let me get to it. I got to get to it. Like Tyvis just talked for a whole. 5 minutes?
I know, but
But
yeah.
Go ahead.
As I spoke, Tyvis spoke 3 minutes, 4 minutes. We was all quiet. I spoke 36 seconds. You stopped me. I'm confused.
All right. Well,
can I get to it?
But it had nothing to do with what he was saying.
But Tyvis don't need an arbiter. He good. Let Tyvis tell me that.
The point is, I'm just saying, you get your. The point is, what you said is actually rational, which I'm surprised because nobody else is rational around here, and. You're right. The idea that Jason would make stuff up is idiotic, and anybody saying that
I didn't say Jason made no. I'm saying
G is saying that whatever he's hearing might not always be true.
What I'm saying is,
and that's a fact. That could happen.
What I'm saying is, there's two sides of a coin. You can hear things. He said on the show.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Forget what the people told me? And those people are telling me that.
Yeah.
And sometimes people could tell you something and it not be correct. See, a lot of people said in the beginning that Dylan Gabriel was way more advanced and he was the guy and he was doing this. Now, all of a sudden, I think it's funny that people now, there's articles. Mary Kay came out and said Dylan Gabriel is not in contention to be the starting quarterback. Now, the problem is when you build somebody up to be that and then you see it and then you discard it, it's like, oh, let's forget about that. We talked about Kenny Pickett. We talked about what he was and how he was ready to go. And then we saw him. They moved him to, and he didn't do nothing. We've been talking a lot of quarterbacks. The reason that people is up in arms, right, And the one thing that we get is this dude has a sample size of 6 quarterbacks. And the thing that we've been 6 games. We've been recycling names of quarterbacks for 6 months. It's the new flavor of the week. It's Kyler Murray. Put one in the air. Kyler Murray ain't coming. Condolences. Anthony Richardson. Condolences to him too. Lighters up. He ain't coming. Malik Willis. Lighters up. He's not coming. Hey, Mendoza, you're not drafting him. Dante Moore not coming. Cade Klubnik not coming. We can keep going. Nussmeier, Aller, all of them. We done got to a point. People done said Geno Smith.
Did we say that?
Well, that's what Jonathan Peterlin and Nick Wilson said. Geno Smith. I love the option of Geno Smith.
What are you talking about? They both love Shador.
But I rolled the beautiful beam footage. What people is getting that's crazy work.
That's sick.
It's there. The footage is there. And I'm saying, we just saw him head to head and watch. So you telling me you rather have Geno Smith?
No.
Or
I don't think anybody's. I think what Jonathan and Nick were saying, bringing somebody to compete with Shador,
why would
to hand them the job.
They told me.
I don't want Geno Smith, but
they said
they both like Shador. Both of those guys.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You got to stand on what you're saying.
Here's my problem with some of what you're saying.
What
is that you're defending? Should people like being definitive about it? In this business, people do that about they do that about quarterbacks all the time, players all the time when they've played little. It's nothing unique about Shador in that vein at all. People are definitive about Dylan Gabriel, are they not?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the difference?
But the difference between me and Dylan Gabriel is the definitive nature is I said if you're going to give Dylan Gabriel some run, why y'all use him as a human shield? What
do you mean?
They use Dylan Gabriel.
What? I don't understand what you're talking about.
Everybody. So when we talked about it, when we at the beginning of the season, we talked about how Dylan Gabriel was way more available and way more mentally aptitude, ready to play.
Who said that?
Everybody.
Everybody did say that.
That was like speculation that why he was getting more of an opportunity.
Zach Jackson came on and said Dylan Gabriel didn't even look like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. None of us said that.
A lot of people pushed the narrative that Dylan Gabriel was more advanced as far as
I think that was
processing
maybe a guess.
The human processor.
That's what
Mary Kay called him the supercomputer.
Correct.
Okay, Mary Kay did.
Now here's the thing.
Yeah.
That you just got to it.
Yeah.
That's a guess.
Right.
The problem people have when they talk about Shador Sanders is there's an educated guess going on. But when you are definitive as if it's the worst thing you've ever seen, he can't do this, he can't do that.
I have a problem with that.
That's a guess.
I have a problem with that.
That is a guess.
That's my only pushback with Jason is that like he makes it.
But he was basing that on the numbers.
But he also makes it seem like it's a foregone conclusion.
And I disagree with him there. But that's not
and I think that's where we're all in disagreement.
That's not a reason for people to go on social media and say he's the worst.
Oh, well,
he's a hater. He's this. That is ridiculous.
I can only give what I give.
Yeah, all I'm saying, I can't speak for that fight.
All I can say is look. The scorekeeper is looking like every time we brought up a quarterback, they're not here. And the one thing that you can point to that camera and you can say G. Bush didn't lie to you. I went from the Duke of New York to standing on the Rock of Gibraltar. Let me tell you, I'm on solid ground. Every quarterback that you done mentioned, I always stood fast and say, nope. That I don't like that option. I don't think that is. Now here's what we got to come to the conclusion. This is not arguable.
I stood right there with you.
Okay. I got to give you. I got it. We got it. And we don't want to derail the conversation. We don't want to get to it. No. But if the Cleveland Browns didn't go get Malik Willis, if they didn't get Anthony Richardson, if they didn't go after Kyler Murray, if they moved on and said Dylan Gabriel ain't in, and they moved Joe Flacco, and they moved Kenny Pickett, and they're not going to draft a quarterback, then
we don't know about most of those things.
But guess what? But the quarterback, they may draft one. We'll cross that road when it happens.
Yeah.
But if they do not, what does that tell you about what the Cleveland Browns feel?
They believe
it feels Shador Sanders gives them the best chance to win because they had ample opportunity to go get other quarterbacks, and they did not do it.
No, I don't agree with that, but
Why?
Why?
Why would that not tell you?
Because they may think that a guy is better, but not better enough that it's worth, spending the money on him or paying the price to get him.
So they're actively choosing.
So what's the point of this season? Isn't it supposed to be
to potentially develop a young quarterback? But we're way too early for that. But we don't know that that's the case yet.
Up to this point,
But what do you mean up to this point?
Up to this point,
every single thing you mentioned is still up in the air, except for Malik Willis.
So okay,
that is true too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Not the Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco.
not those things.
That was last
I
year.
know, I just wanted to give him his
Flacco's
credit.
41 years old.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is, what we got to say is we can't sit here and keep saying if the Browns go get this guy, go get that guy, go get this guy, then they believe he's better. But also the same reflects. If they decide to stay with Shedeur Sanders and don't choose those guys, then the Cleveland Browns made the decision that he is the guy that they want to move forward with, at least for now.
That's a fact.
That's different than they gives them the best chance to win. That I agree with.
Well, we'll watch it. We'll watch it play out.
Same thing, but I do think they're going to bring in. So what does it mean if they do bring in somebody? Does it mean they don't think he gives them a good chance to win?
That means they bring in somebody and they're going to let them compete.
But does it mean they don't think he gives them the best chance to win?
We're going to find out when he gets
well,
on the
then why?
field.
You're being a hypocrite.
No. Listen.
You're saying if they don't bring anything.
What I'm saying.
No. You said if they don't bring anybody in, it means they think he gives them the best chance to win.
Right.
But if they do bring someone in, it doesn't mean that.
No, what I'm saying is they're going to give him, right now, Shedeur Sanders is going to be in the race to be the starting quarterback.
As of now, yes.
As of today.
Yes.
As of now, they have not brought anybody else in. Is that correct?
Yes.
If they do decide to bring somebody in, that obviously means that Shedeur is basically still in contention to be the quarterback.
Well, it depends who they bring in.
But they want somebody to compete with him.
It depends who they bring in. I'll say most likely that's the case. There may be somebody they bring in where that would not be the case.
Where they would compete?
If they drafted a quarterback in the first round, there's no competition. You know that.
If they sign Kyler Murray,
If they sign Kyler Murray, which again I don't think they're going to do, he's the starting quarterback. Is Malik Willis competing with what's his name?
Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers? No, he's not.
Well, I also didn't see that the Dolphins didn't say Quinn Ewers was a leader at nothing. I also didn't see. I didn't. Come on. Oh wow, that's a nice one, ain't it?
You're being silly.
I mean, the coach did say. I also didn't see. I didn't see Quinn Ewers' teammates say that they liked him and he was the guy.
You're being silly.
I just give you what they say.
You're being disingenuous.
I got to take him at his word. Todd Monk, an elite playmaking
So then,
ability.
if they sign Kyler Murray, they don't think if they draft a quarterback in the first round, they don't think Shedeur's any good. Is that true?
We'll cross.
Is that true?
We'll cross that road.
Well, you didn't wait to cross the road with the 10 guys you mentioned who are still up in the air. But now if it goes the other way, you don't want to cross the road.
No, the scorekeeper is telling you.
The scorekeeper's telling us nothing. It's been less than 24 hours.
The scorekeeper told you it's 13-0. I was right about all the quarterbacks so far that they ain't got.
What? You were not right about anything yet, G. What were you right about?
What do you mean? I told you when people was writing Kenny Pickett was the dude. What'd I tell you?
Who was writing he was the dude? People say he was going to. Nobody thought Kenny Pickett was the dude.
Everybody thought he was the dude.
They thought he was going to start.
Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people thought that.
But you're making it seem.
Dylan Gabriel, I was right about that.
Gee, you're making it seem like people thought Kenny Pickett was good.
Oh, they did. They did.
Who thought Kenny Pickett was good?
I saw Jeff Phelps and Andy Baskin running shows like that every day.
They thought that he would be this last year's Sam Darnold.
Did they?
Jeff Phelps and
we just take Andy Baskin and Jeff Phelps.
He's a colleague of mine. I got to take him at his word.
Okay.
Shout out to them. I work up.
Shout out to them, by the way.
Shout out to Jeff
but what have you been proven? We haven't proven that Shedeur Sanders is good.
What Jay is saying right now is at this given moment at 11:23 on March 10th, 2026, the Cleveland Browns have operated as Shedeur Sanders being the number one quarterback coming into the year.
That's it.
Or at least in competition for that number one.
Sure,
yeah.
but he's got the leg up.
But who's arguing against that? Right
Nobody.
No, because it's unrefutable.
I don't know that it's what?
It's irrefutable. We can't argue.
It's not irrefutable.
Only thing that I'm here.
How do we know Deshaun Watson doesn't have a leg up?
He said Deshaun Watson is going to compete.
Because we haven't seen Deshaun Watson play.
But that doesn't mean he doesn't have a leg up. It's a new coach. We have no idea.
By the way,
for all we know, And I can't believe
For all we know,
Boy,
Deshaun Watson is the favorite. I don't know.
You're being disingenuous.
I'm not.
You know good
no,
and
I'm not.
doggone well. Deshaun don't got the leg up.
I believe that Shedeur Sanders has the leg up, but he said it's irrefutable. I don't know if it's irrefutable.
Sure.
Here's another thing.
I don't know that it's not even between those two.
I told y'all 2 years ago, everybody was screaming, jumping up and down. You got to get rid of Deshaun Watson. You got to get rid of his deal. And guess what? I
think you should.
And guess what I said? He ain't going nowhere. Deshaun Watson going to be on this roster. And then
nobody else said he was going to get cut either. We said he should.
Well,
we didn't say he would.
When they said, "Hey, Kevin Stefanski is leaving and Andrew Berry's staying," everybody said he ain't got to go. I said Andrew Berry about to stay.
Bottom line of the whole thing, my whole thing about me talking about the Jason thing is that I want people to understand that yes, there were some things that went on last year that I scratched my head on that was shaky, and therefore it was not a clear picture of what Shedeur Sanders is as an NFL quarterback. I still think that he made some moments where it was really good. He had some moments that was really bad. Again, what rookie doesn't have that? With that being said, I think we're going to dive into some of the free agent moves that's going on.
Yeah.
I think that the right thing to do to get both sides of this coin on the same page is to give him 2026 so we can truly see what it is. But we do have to fix some things on the roster to get a clear picture. And that
which we're going to get to in 30 seconds.
Exactly.
It was a great measured response by you, which we don't have a lot of in this day and age. We're also polarized, emotional, personal.
Yeah, I like to be Switzerland. I like to see straight down the middle.
By the way, Jonathan Peterlin is watching the show. He texted you and I to defend himself. He said, "Gee, you're drunk. LOL. We never went for Geno Smith, either one of us." I know Jonathan in particular loves Shedeur. He's almost like you.
I don't.
He's a borderline. He's a Shedorian.
I was alarmed. I was alarmed. I said, Geno? I said, Geno compete. I just saw him smoke Geno Smith out there in the West Coast. He was out there cooking.
All right, we got some free agency moves we got to dive into. Quick reminder that despite where UCSS is located, we will still be on social media. Make sure you guys follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok. While you can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, download the WKYC app, and we appreciate all your guys' continued support. The Browns did make 2 signings. We'll break them down individually. Let's start with the first, Zion Johnson, 3 years, $49.5 million. It's really a 2-year, $32 million deal with a true, legit team option for the 3rd year. He had some mixed reviews on PFF, if you want to go by PFF. A much better run blocker than he is as a pass blocker. He's only missed 2 games in his entire career, though, since being drafted in the 1st round. G, you are our expert on trench play. The Browns needed some offensive linemen. What do you make of Zion Johnson, the former 1st-round pick of the Chargers, who is now the newest member of the Cleveland Browns?
You know, this is a pick where if you look at it, you're like, I mean, is he going to be a starting caliber type guard at this moment? Is he a really blockbuster type thing like you was trying to get? You look at his PFF grade, right, in terms of his pass block and his run block grade. It ain't crazy. I think the thing that they looked at was he's a guy who's still young, 4 years in the league, that's moldable. They want to get him in there and be able to get some offensive line play around him. And he's a lump of clay. He has good intangibles. He has good athleticism. It's just the fact that I think he's one of those offensive linemen that just hasn't put it together. And when you take a look at what you have, he has better clay and better material to work with than a guy like Tevin Jenkins. Much more powerful, better footwork. He's played 65 games. He made All-Pro as a rookie, and he's a former 1st-round pick.
Rookie, not
All-Rookie, right? Yeah, not All-Pro. I mean, All-Rookie. But he also gives, we talked about this with Bull, we talked about the ability to be a good run blocker. And I think the thing that the Browns need to do, and everything I'm doing is moving towards the thought process of how do I get my offense and to put some pieces around a young quarterback. The best thing you can do for a young quarterback is to get a good solid run game and to be able to run play action and do some of these things. So if I'm looking at it like this, I'm going to go and look at it and say, give me this guy. I think he has potential. I think that he can hit a stride where in year 6 he's a little better than he was in year 4. And I think that he's probably one of the better run blockers in terms of the physical raw traits that was available. And I was actually surprised that they really went after him, because I looked at him and was like, man, I always felt like he should be better than what he was, but he just didn't really ever put it together after his rookie year, which he splashed a little bit. But I like the move, and I like the fact that it is a guard inside, which gives us more flexibility to do some things, whether they want to use that pick on the tackle later in the draft.
Mm-hmm. I like the move from the simple fact of, no, his PFF grades aren't jumping off the page at you and all of those things. I mean, it's a fine move, but what it tells me is, I think that, you know, a couple weeks ago, we had the argument, Bull, about how important the offensive line is.
Right.
I kept bringing up the Denver Broncos.
Yes.
How Denver Broncos typically don't technically have a superstar on their offense, but yet they had a really good offense and was able to go far in the playoffs. I think when you look at just this offseason and how certain teams are moving, a lot of teams are trying to bolster up the offensive line. Like, the trench play is starting to matter again. You know, I think it's been a couple of years where it's been okay to, or you could get away with maybe not having a strong offensive line as long as you got playmakers on the outside. I think that the Browns are realizing it's hard to come by people on the outside, so let's fix things up on the inside. Let's at least have a good offensive line. I think that when the Browns were at their peak, the best thing they did was they were able to run the ball and do play action off of that. And then somewhere along the lines of getting Deshaun Watson, we flipped our whole mindset of the explosive has to come from the passing play. Well, if you paid attention to Denver offense last year, their longest pass play came when Jarrett Stidham in the playoffs threw that bomb to dude. That was the longest play from scrimmage, or as far as the passing play goes, for them. So with that being said, I think teams like the Browns are looking like, we're going to fix this offensive line and we're going to go back to running the ball. I was looking at what the Raiders are doing, and the Raiders is signing a bunch of different guys. Yeah. But, you know, Tom Brady is the centerpiece of a lot of those moves that are being made. And I noticed they signed Linderbaum. I noticed that they're trying to fix their offensive line, but
because their old line was as bad as the Browns.
Right, but when you look at their offense, like, all right, so I was looking at it like this: their key players is Genty, Brock Bowers, and then they'll have Fernando Mendoza. Well, guess what? The Browns' version is Quinshawn, Fannin, and Shedeur Sanders right now, and then you might can throw in Jerry Jeudy. So, like, I think that everybody's looking like, let's just fix the offensive line play, because the offensive line play helps everything out. We'll be able to run the ball with Quinshawn, which is one of the most focal points that we want to do this year anyways, and then it buys Shedeur Sanders time on passing routes. Again, I always go back to that Buffalo game, the last drive, where you actually had a chance, and Cam Robinson just completely whiffed it.
Nasty work.
It was all over with. So I think that they want to at least protect him, because Shedeur Sanders, like him or not, has shown you that if you give him time, even if you don't give him time, he can find a way to wiggle things around and then, boom, make a play down the field. I just think they want to really ensure that offensive line up.
That was kind of crazy, the wiggle boom thing. I ain't had no flag, but I'm going to let you roll.
It wasn't that bad.
Wiggle boom.
Wiggle boom.
It's interesting. It's interesting if you look at this guy. I know, if Mike, and your graphic is contradictory because it says better run blocker, but then in the PFF grades, he had a worse PFF grade against the run.
Just last year. Over the course of his career, he's been a much better run blocker.
Yeah, so he didn't have a particularly good year last year.
He was not good last year.
It's interesting because obviously he was a first-round pick. Mm-hmm. He was a first-round. Tom Telesco was part of that front office. He's now advising the Browns.
Yeah.
Right, so that's a connection there. The Chargers had one of the worst offensive lines in the league.
Yeah, they stunk.
And so they've taken a guy from a team that let an offensive lineman walk from a bad offensive line. So it tells you the Chargers didn't think that much of him. Now, what's interesting about this guy is you say, well, the analytics were bad last year, right, PFF grade? Mm. But if you look at, what's that score that all the geeks use at the combine?
RAS.
RAS.
Oh, yeah.
So this guy, his RAS was through the roof.
So he's supposed to be a great athlete and great football player.
His RAS, what's that athletic score?
Relative athletic score.
His relative athletic score, combine-wise.
All your testing at the combine, puts it into one number and compares you to all the other guards.
It's like WAR for baseball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
His RAS was one of the best for an interior guard over a long stretch of time. Mm-hmm. So obviously there's potential. Now, I think we'd all agree that at least on paper, the Browns have a good offensive line coach for the first time since Bill Callahan.
And that's what they bet.
Right. George Warhop is experienced. He was here before. Joe Thomas thinks highly of him. This guy's a legit offensive line coach. So what they're saying is this guy's not very good right now. I mean, that's the reality.
But they say,
there's talent there.
Correct.
I shouldn't say he's not very good. He's average to slightly below average. Below average. It's not like he's not KT Levinson. I mean, he can play, but he's below average. And they think they can make him at least average or maybe above average. He doesn't need to be a star, just like you said with the Broncos. Garrett Bowles, their left tackle, is their best player.
Yeah.
The rest of their line is just solid guys.
Yeah.
You don't need to have a superstar at every position on the line, especially at guard. But you need them to be solid. So they look at him. They say he was a first-round pick. His RAS score is through the roof. There's talent there. He has it. I saw a coach. I didn't know who this guy was, but he's been working with Jonathan now for a while. Coach Riceland.
Oh, Coach Riceland.
Do you know him?
Yeah.
I never heard of him before a year ago.
Oh man, he sends me scouting reports on all these dudes like every day.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable guy.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very
shout
And
out
he
to him.
put out a couple of 3 videos on him that showed a couple of strengths and one weakness. And he talked about his footwork is excellent. I think you mentioned that. And there appear to be a lot of positives about this guy. His biggest weakness that he said was he struggles with big defensive tackles, and he's unable to kind of get enough push in the passing game where it's a stalemate or he's going the wrong way against some of the bigger guys. So, that's something to keep in mind. He's certainly not a perfect player. If he were a perfect player, he probably wouldn't be in free agency.
Right.
Yeah.
But he appears to be a guy who at least they can make into average.
Yeah.
And you're not paying him crazy money.
Well, the reality of the situation is everybody that's fans want the Browns to go out and get these big times like a Linderbaum and all those things. But you got to be realistic about the situation. Like either the Browns are going to overpay a lot of money. That's the only way, really. Because like guys aren't
to get the top guys.
Yeah, they're not going to look at the Browns as a desired destination.
Raiders too. That's why they
that's why his contract is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick
Yeah.
on Zion. So I texted you guys yesterday. I have a buddy who works for the NFL research department. We've used a bunch of his stats before, but he's one of the how many Charger fans out there are there? Like real diehard? 12?
There's a lot of Chargers fans.
13?
Come on, let's not get carried away.
He's one of 13.
Yeah.
So he texted me. This was his scouting report on Zion. So I said, hey, his name's Jack. I said, Jack, give me the real. He said, really good run blocker who was an absolute liability in pass pro for the Bolts. I think he blocked one of approximately 300 stunts last year, got burned on every single one. Contract reflects more of his draft slot than his actual NFL performance, but I've watched enough to know that there's something in there that a good coach can get out.
Yeah, that's it. That's what the Browns are betting on. They're betting there's more in there. And remember, this is a while ago now, but when the Browns traded for Wyatt Teller, they gave up nothing.
Right.
He wasn't even a high draft pick like this guy was. And he'd been in Buffalo 1 year, he'd been fine, but they made him better because he had a good coach. You have a good coach again at offensive line. Hopefully they can improve him. Help him improve.
Dude, the Chargers throw the ball a lot, right? Because they running back got hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they rank in terms of throwing the ball.
I mean, they did throw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
They weren't a great run blocking or running offense this year under Harbaugh, but in the past they had been
Yeah, that's
better,
true.
So
I will say that if the Browns, like any young quarterback, if Shedeur Sanders is the starting quarterback for the Browns, like any young quarterback, a running game is huge.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why we've talked about maybe getting crazy and drafting Love at 6.
Yeah.
Again, they won't do it, but like having this crazy two-headed monster
He
back.
might not be there at 6.
He might not be there. You're right. He might not be.
he probably will not be there at 6.
Well, who knows? But the thing is that the Browns need to get back to having a bunch of maulers on the offensive line that can open up some holes because Quinshon Judkins had nowhere to run last year. Like, and there were times, and Nick Chubb is so special when he was in his prime that he could overcome it to some degree. But the offensive line was still better when Nick Chubb was here. The offensive line was so bad last year that Judkins didn't really have a chance. And you can't ask a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, when you're at the moment your receiving core is subpar, to do a lot when you can't run the ball. It's just it's a nearly impossible situation.
I've been watching Q for 2 years. Obviously, his last year at Ohio State and this year with the Browns.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that he is a special player. Like
Nick Chubb level special, you think?
I think that
that's
that's a lot. That's
Okay.
a lot.
Behind Chubb
I think he'll have moments where he will remind you of Nick Chubb. But the one thing that I do like about him is his competitive nature.
Yes.
Like, to sit there and look at how bad that offense was last year, and him no training camp, come in there and make an impact the way he did, the way he it's something like you would have to be playing the game to understand. Like, when you see your running back go out there, run through somebody, get up and start talking crazy to her, I promise you, it ignites you as a team.
Up,
like,
right?
oh, this what we own today?
Yeah.
So, and he was doing that. So, like, the leadership qualities is there. I don't know. He might not say a lot, but he definitely is one of those lead by example type of guys. And if they can fix that offensive line, because there was a lot of runs that he did last year that got called back.
Yeah.
So, like, when you look at his final numbers, I think he rushed for, like, 800 yards, 700 yards? Like, a lot. I can remember off the top of my head, like, 3 runs that got brought back that he broke long ones. So, like, he is probably 1,000-yard back every season easily if they fix the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, to me, 1,000 doesn't mean the same. Now it's 1,200.
I'm saying, like,
But
low,
he's at
and
1,200.
low is 1,000 easily.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you want.
That
Go
was
ahead, Mike.
one sign and bowl. Let's talk about the other. Quick reminder: make sure you guys download the WKYC app. There's a QR code on your screen. If you take a picture of that,
that's nice.
You can download it starting March 23rd. We're
go.
moving to 10 a.m.
Let's go.
First hour of the show on the WKYC app. Download it. We'll see you there. The other signing the Browns made: Quincy Williams, 2 years, $17 million. They lost Devin Bush. They bring in Quincy Williams. Since the start of the 2023 season, Quincy Williams has 150 defensive stops and 50 tackles for loss. That is both the number one mark among linebackers.
It's a misleading stat because I don't like that.
When he was a first-team All-Pro in 2023,
Yeah.
Browns defensive coordinator Mike Rutenberg was his linebackers coach for the Jets. It is worth mentioning, despite the fact he was an All-Pro in 2023, he was benched in 2025, 12 games into the season.
Right.
So there's the good, there's the bad.
Yeah.
Bull, Devin Bush out, Quincy Williams in. Your take?
I mean, it's probably not a big downgrade. I don't know if it's necessarily a downgrade at all. But let's be fair about it. Devin Bush played great here.
He did.
Now, if you look at their careers, Quincy Williams has probably been over their career a better player. Devin Bush was a better player last year. There's no debate.
Facts.
No debate. But we talked about the pairing of, like, Tom Telesco being involved with the offensive line. Here's a situation where the DC was the linebacker coach when Quincy Williams had his best season.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it coincidence? Hopefully not. Hopefully there's something to it. Obviously, Rutenberg had some say in this. It's unfortunate they lose Devin Bush.
Yeah.
But even though Quincy Williams didn't have a particularly great season, and I think he got hurt a little bit last year, and he's a little older than Devin Bush. He's 2 years older. I think it's a fine replacement. I'd rather have, if you ask me, I can only have one of them. I'd rather have Devin Bush, but this guy's cheaper and probably not a big drop-off.
Well, the good news is that he's going back to a system that he knows at the back of his hand.
Yeah.
Probably what happened with the Jets is that, Aaron Glenn probably ran a system that he just wasn't familiar with. Again, I talk about looking at your personnel and making sure that you're putting people in positions that they're comfortable with, that they're best at. And apparently that wasn't the case for him last year with the Jets. Now he's coming back with this system that obviously Rudy wasn't the DC, but he's probably going to run something similar to what that scheme was that allowed Quincy Williams to be really good.
Yeah.
The one thing about a linebacker, the one thing that Devin Bush struggled with, but he was really good, especially towards the end of last season, that I loved, was being able to play in coverage. This is a league where, as a linebacker, you thinking stop the run. But when that play action coming, I need you as a safety or a DB to punch out of there and get back in that hook. You couldn't do that. And Quincy Williams is probably something that he's probably going to struggle with a little bit. But Devin Bush got really good. That's how he ended up getting the 3 interceptions and having the 2 touchdowns. You know, you think about the, what was it, Cincy game? He had the pick 6.
Yeah.
Baltimore, he had a pick 6, I think, too.
Did he? Well, the Cincy game was the one where they kept doing the Marshawn Lynch. So I know that one off the top of my head. But that's where Devin Bush used to struggle at, and he really got better at that last year. And I think that's ultimately what allowed him to have a lot of money or make a lot of money this offseason in free agency, is having that balance. Those linebackers that are really good at stopping the run, but also can give you something and play in that hook window. And Devin Bush is that. Hopefully, Quincy Williams can get that, because they're going to need that. Obviously, teams are going to, if you look at what the front is with Myles Garrett and them 2 defensive tackles continue to play really well, teams are going to want to run play action a lot. And you're going to need Quincy Williams to be able to play in the passing game. And hopefully that part of his game is tweaked. Not having no picks and no touchdowns, like that's it's kind of shaky to me. I wonder how many career PBUs he got. Mike, can you look that up?
Oh, it's crazy because we have the stat right there for you, Tyvis. He had 7
look at that
in his career.
I like that.
He got 2 years, 17. I believe Bush was 3 for 30.
Yeah, slightly more money.
It really wasn't much more
similar value
per year.
Right.
Bush just got an extra year on the deal.
I think. First of all, shout out to Devin Bush. I ain't gonna hate. Like, man.
The only thing I hate about him is that he's a Wolverine.
Yeah,
that's pretty hateable.
He actually, that's he resurrected his career though.
He did.
Like,
he really did.
This guy, I mean, I got to give. We killed Andrew Berry on offense, and that's verifiable.
That is verifiable.
That is verifiable. But listen, hey, look, G. Bush, I'm on record. Your receivers and your linemen, dog. I'm just saying, that's nasty work. But when it comes to you grabbing players, he really got him off the scrap heap.
He did.
With Seattle, brought him in, dusted him off, and got him a bag. Like, Devin Bush.
He came from Seattle?
Yeah.
I thought it was Pittsburgh.
I thought it was Pittsburgh.
No, he spent a year in Seattle.
1 year in Seattle. And it's not like he came from bad organization.
Right.
Pittsburgh and Seattle.
Point.
So,
By the way, you said you were 13-0 so far. Make it 14-0. Point for you.
Point to the scorekeeper.
I question this 13.
The scorekeeper. Then the Bull was like, I knew Bull was like, nah, he ain't going to. Because if I'm on the record with it, if you confirm it, then Jay got to come up here and it got to be 13. Bull confirmed it, right? Nah, but he can't. Like, I wanted them to sign him.
Devin Bush?
Yeah, I did too. And it hurt me a little bit when I seen it. And I said, G. Bush, I ain't gonna flip on you. I ain't gonna act like I'm gonna come up here and be like, oh, he was garbage anyway. No, he was nice, and I wanted to keep him. Boy. But I see where they went with. This is a good replacement.
Is Quincy Williams a former first round pick too?
No, he was a 3rd-round pick in the same draft, by the way.
Yeah,
same draft.
But
he's 2 years older.
Yeah,
he is older, but they're the same draft.
He flies around a lot.
I'm about to say when he played us,
he was playing.
It
was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, this man, who is this dude?
Yeah. Well, his brother is Quinnen Williams.
Yes.
Yeah, like he was moving around. I'm like, bro, okay, this dude is a monster. So I like what they did right there. And you know what I also like? I like the fact that I'm going to see what Rudy going to add to this scheme. I like the fact that he's like, we're going to run that base stuff.
You guys calling him Rudy. Is that his nickname?
That's what
the players call him.
That's what the
Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Even though it's Rutenberg, they call him Rudy.
But I think it's Rudy, like Rute, even though we're saying it like Rudy.
So when he was an All-Pro in 2023,
yes,
first-team All-Pro, these were his stats that year.
Okay.
139 tackles, 39 of them solo.
Said 30, only hits. 39 solo?
95 or solo. Sorry,
I was about to say.
That's why I laughed.
This man did a whole bunch of game tackles.
Jump on the pile, bro.
139 tackles, 95 solo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 sacks, 4 quarterback hits, 3 forced fumbles, 10 passes defended.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
There it is.
An interception.
I like
a partridge in a pear tree.
There it is. Yeah.
If he give us that, boy, I ain't gonna say nothing.
That would be a hell of a season.
That was that right there.
Him and Carson Schlesinger.
Hey, that's why I like the fact that they backed it up with him. Like there's like, we can't, we didn't get what we needed to get, but we're gonna get. And you know what? I understand. We are on a panel mostly. If this was economics. Most of my castmates are fiscal conservatives.
Not me.
Yes, you'll spend money, and you'll spend money on characters, people too.
Yeah.
If he's good enough, Bull don't care.
I don't care,
Listen, who cares? We good. But even my brother Tyvis over here, man, he's really a black fiscal conservative. He's not gonna mess around.
He's a BFC.
Yeah, he gonna listen. He go to BFC. You down with BFC?
Yeah, you know me.
Dom DeMarco.
I like to play it
It's like
safe.
UCSS is the best. You get moments like that anywhere.
He's like, yeah, bro.
Play it safe.
But they've stayed inside the lines when coloring. They haven't. Chris Paul, we don't got Chris Paul.
No Chris Paul.
No Chris Paul signings for crazy money.
Yeah.
They hadn't jumped off the roof with any receivers. They didn't give Alec Pierce $150 million.
That still seems like the craziest move.
We're getting Pierce next, so let's finish with
Okay.
We're going to go to Pierce.
Yeah.
But I like this. Yeah, I like it. We got this little move. We got the little guard we talked about. We were just ran in the middle with some upside. Now we can talk about it.
Let me ask you this. Usually when the Browns move off of a player, we'd be like, it's probably over with, right? Do you think Devin Bush can change
It's going to be interesting, right? Because he fit what Schwartz was going to do, what Schwartz wanted him to do, right?
Yeah.
So he went to the Bears. I mean, what's their?
Well, they let the Edmonds dude go because they was sick of him.
How does their system? I don't know. How does their system?
I don't
compare to
even
what
know
we
either.
I don't know what the Bears.
Dennis Allen's their DC. Tyvis,
Yeah.
Did you ever play for Dennis? He's been in
No,
DC
he was
forever.
with the Saints though.
He
He
for a
running the
while.
same thing Aaron Glenn running in.
I do know that for what I don't know that this has anything to do with Devin Bush, but the Bears defense was they got a bunch of turnovers, but they weren't great. They gave up a lot of yards, a lot of points, but they forced a lot of turnovers.
Correct.
And I know that they hated the linebacker, that Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah, right. They
and I
cut
don't-
him, didn't they?
They did. The Giants signed him for 3 for $36, so they got more money.
Are we going to talk about some of these other signings?
At the end, yeah.
By the way,
But we have one thing we got to get to because we got Charles Davis joining us in 10 minutes on his latest mock and free agency. We're going to talk Cavs in a little bit. We'll do an Ultimate Cavs show tomorrow. It'll be on our YouTube page. You can find it, button to subscribe.
Nobody's excited
all
about
that good
Cavs right
stuff.
now. We're all into football.
In terms of
win
free
against the
agency,
Sixers.
Tyvis tweeted something out yesterday that we had to address.
Oh,
In case you guys missed it, Alec Pierce signed a gigantic contract to return to the Indianapolis Colts, over $100 million, 4 years, $116 million. And Tyvis said after this deal became official, he said, all right, I'm back going to draft the receiver at all costs at number 6. Because I can't afford to pay for a number 2 receiver if that's the going price.
Well,
so Tyvis.
That's
I
ridiculous.
still can't believe he got almost $30 million a year.
Me either.
He got the same price as T. Higgins.
So Tyvis.
What?
Yeah,
Yes,
basically.
Same deal as T. Higgins. Tyvis, so you're now back on Cardinal Tate, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson at 6 because of how expensive it is to acquire a good, maybe not even great receiver. Is that the right mindset?
If that's the case, we're never going to spend that type of money on a receiver. Hey, look, what does Judy make a year?
20, I
No,
think.
Judy's at 17 a year.
17.
And he making how much a year?
20 is 4 for 116, so it's like
I mean, he had
28.
a nice year
Man,
last
get out
year.
of here, boy. Don't do that.
No. No. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm saying it wasn't like he was a scrub.
The only reason that what shocks me about his whole thing is that basically essentially Tyler Warren is your number 1 option and you're using him as a number 2 option.
I don't know. I think the way they paid him, he's their number 1 option. They traded Pittman.
Hey, man.
That part I don't understand either.
He's now a top 10 highest paid receiver.
I think
He's your number 1 option.
Yeah, here's what's interesting, to your point. If you look, the cap's way up, right? So I expected all these contracts to be massive.
Mm-hmm.
That was really the only contract yesterday that blew me away.
Jalen Phillips was also one that was.
Yeah,
Jalen Phillips?
He had 6 sacks in a couple years. But
Where did he go? The Eagles?
No, Carolina.
Where'd they pay him?
They got
4
Devin
for
Lloyd
120.
too.
All right, but
They paid him what?
Linderbaum made a ton of money. And changed the center market, but he's really good.
I think he's worth it.
He's a superstar. But he's a superstar in his position, right? In the rest of the positions, the numbers were kind of, for the most part, in line with what they've been.
Like I said, Pierce and Phillips were the 2 kind of outliers.
But the wide receiver, what did Rashid Shaheed get?
Over 50. Jalen Naylor got 3 for 35.
Jalen Naylor? What's he do? That guy, does he do anything?
The only Nailers I know back we talk about Jalen Naylor. Is that Bo? Is that the cousin Jalen Naylor? Who is that? I know who Jalen Reagor is.
So if the Browns pay Alec Pierce that money, you'd be okay with it?
Absolutely not. And here's the thing. I thought about this yesterday because I heard a lot of people, including I don't even know if I said it. Maybe I did say well, maybe the Browns should have traded for Michael Pittman. The Steelers didn't give anything up.
Well, he signed a deal,
and then they cashed him out after they
signed. But here's the thing. Here's why I wouldn't have done that if I were the Browns. And I get Operation Stockpile, and I'm on board generally. But here's why I wouldn't have done that.
He's stockpiling Pierce.
The Steelers have
No. You talking Pittman?
Pittman. The Steelers have DK Metcalf, who's a number one receiver, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
He's not Jamar Chase. He's not Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
But he's still a number one guy.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman's a 2, right?
Yeah.
2.5.
So if I'm the Browns, I'm already paying Jerry Jeudy. Now, I'm not paying him crazy, but
that.
I don't need to pay Pittman and Jeudy $40 million between them when they're both number 2s.
Right.
So, to me, if I'm the Browns, I'm only spending big money on a wide receiver if it's a 1. And Pittman's not a 1, and neither is Alec Pierce. Now,
You can get him real cheap at 6.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's why the Browns need to get their own receiver in the draft.
Yeah.
Listen, Rand Carthon, former Titans general manager, has advised that the Cleveland Browns prioritize. Now, this is back.
Tate Tyson Lemon.
This is about 4 months ago. He said this. He said the Cleveland Browns should prioritize drafting a wide receiver rather than spending on high-priced free agents. Carthon emphasized investing in top-tier draft talent to build around receiving core, suggesting prospects like Cardinal Tate. He argues that the draft and develop approach is superior to previous attempts to find receivers in later rounds or through free agency such as Cedric Tillman. He said this 4 months ago.
I'll tell you what. I think I have changed my. I think the Browns should go sign Taylor Decker to play left tackle.
Go Bucks.
I would too.
I would sign Taylor Decker. I'll go with Whippler at center. Mm-hmm. Remember I was talking about a Minimowski guard?
Yep.
Go get me a Minimowski guard who's serviceable.
What, in the draft?
No. What I would do with guard
Third
is
round.
I would draft a guard in the 3rd, 4th round, and if he's ready to go, I play him. If not, I sign like a 1-year, $6 million deal to some serviceable guard.
Give me Billy Schlerer from Notre Dame. Give me Billy.
Right? And then I don't have to spend first-round capital on a tackle. Because Taylor, how old is Taylor Decker?
30,
yeah.
Oh, that's
all right.
That's okay.
I could have him for three more years.
2.5.
I got 3. I find another left tackle somewhere along the way.
Taylor's been injured. He's been up and down.
I hear you. Well, I have DeWand as my backup, although he'll be injured too. Maybe we'll take turns.
Hey, right there it is.
And then I am drafting Carnell Tate because, and I'm not usually this guy. I'm not usually
Take
like
Tyson or Lemon.
But who's the last Ohio State wide receiver that was a bust?
That was
Marvin
garbage.
Harrison Jr.
He's not a
Get
bust.
out of here.
I just want to see what Tyvis's reaction.
He's not as
here.
to this point in his
The
career.
last Ohio State receiver.
To this point in his career, it's fair to say Marvin Harrison Jr. has been disappointing.
Bust?
He's not a bust.
I was just messing with Tyvis.
The worst that you can even come up with is maybe Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson.
He just had an all-pro season.
But I'm just saying.
You would have a bust. Probably
Brian Robisky, who the Browns drafted.
No, it would probably be Devin Smith because he was a 2nd-round pick.
Well, how long ago was that?
Devin Smith went the year before I went, so that was the 2015 draft.
I didn't even realize that was that recently.
DeVere Posey.
Okay.
DeVere was a 3rd-round pick.
When did Brian Hartline become the wide receiver coach?
2017.
Since he's been at Ohio State,
He's had one.
Didn't he just leave, or am I making?
He gone. He's the coach at South Florida now.
Since Brian Hartline came to Ohio State, every wide receiver in the league that they put in has at least been solid.
Yep.
Now, you can't get solid with your 6th overall pick. If we just
Paris Campbell.
Curtis Samuel, does that count? He's kind of
he's
2nd-round pick.
What year
was Curtis Samuel?
Paris Campbell.
Paris was good with the Panthers, though.
Was Samuel?
2017.
He was
Yeah,
good
but
with
he
the
was
Panthers.
not recruited by Hartline.
That's when
He might. I don't know if Hartline
No,
was
I'm just
there.
naming guys. Paris Campbell was a 2nd-round pick in 2019.
He's still talking about who's the latest bust.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't call him a
Carnell Tate,
bust.
you cannot play as much as he did at Ohio State if you don't have a level of excellence. No. Everybody thought JSN was going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
He turned out to be every year.
Ibuka as a rookie
turned out to be very
looked
good.
really good. And this year without Mike Evans there, he's going to be good. He's going to become their number one guy.
Well, he fell off a cliff last year.
I know, but he was a rookie.
I agree.
To me, Carnell Tate has good upside. Maybe not as high as Tyson, as you guys have talked about. But I also like the fact, and again, it's a 6th pick, and if he ends up being just average, it's a disappointment. But I like that his floor is pretty high.
Yes. He's a pro receiver.
He's a pro receiver. The question is he going to be good or great?
Right.
It's not going to be, is he going to be great or stink?
When did you get this analysis?
When
did you get this analysis, my man?
Go.
Let's go.
14-1.
14-1. That's crazy. He's like, the only question, he said it with conviction. Only question is going to be whether he's good or great. I like that.
I just can't see him not being at least good.
I
want him to be great.
I came into this whole thing saying his floor is the highest of all of them.
That's it. And he still has the upside.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
But when you watch his tape, it's actually his tape talk. His tape talk, man.
He do it effortlessly and smooth.
It do look very effortless.
He's like, you can't cover me.
He could come in here and be the number one receiver right away.
Yeah.
And probably
I feel like any of the three.
Any of those guys, yeah.
Any of the three.
You draft a receiver at 6, he's the guy.
I'm not gonna lie. There's some receivers in this lower. We had to do a revisit.
Yeah, we did.
We had to revisit, and boy, there's a couple of them. C.J. Daniels was the kid.
Miami. What's the dude from Ole Miss?
We got our guest guys. Save that for later.
Malachi Fields.
Where is Carnell Tate from, by the way? Do we know?
Chicago.
Oh, he's from Chicago? All right, I believe, if I remember correctly, that our next guest has the Browns taking Carnell Tate with the 6th pick in the draft. I think so, right?
He does, and we're going to talk to him in 1 second. Quick reminder, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on social media, download the WKYC app, and make sure you can follow along UCSS everywhere we go, online, in real time, on TV. You can see great guests like the one who's about to join us in a second. And with that, we welcome Charles Davis to the show, friend of the program. Who
Charles.
Just put out his newest mock draft. And for anyone who's not familiar with Charles Davis' latest mock draft, let's run through the first 12 picks so we're all talking about the same things here. Steve, if you want to take 351 for me here, we will run through the first 6 picks of Charles Davis' latest mock draft. He has Fernando Mendoza going number 1, David Bailey going number 2, Jeremiah Love, Bo, you mentioned maybe falling to 6. Charles Davis has him going number 3, Arvell Reese, number 4. Sonny Styles to the Giants at 5.
Has 3 players from a school ever gone 3 picks in a row in the top 6?
I don't think.
Don't believe so.
But it could definitely happen because they're all awesome.
We have Charles here to ask. So, Charles, Carnell Tate going to the Browns. We are all
Hey, Charles.
What's up,
Good
man?
to see you.
Great to see you guys. Hope everyone is well and happy. And, this time of year is all the speculation game, isn't it? We're all trying to read the tea leaves. We've talked to our barber, our bartender. Such and such was in town, and they came by the other day, and they didn't want to be seen, so I hooked them up in the back. But I'm going to tell you, no one else knows it, but this guy's going to be the guy. We're all in the same game right now, and isn't it fun?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Absolutely. Charles, I was just saying right before you came on that to me, my only question with Carnell Tate is he going to be a good wide receiver or a great wide receiver? I have absolute confidence that his floor is a good NFL player. I hope he can be great. I think he's going to be great, and I want the Browns to take him at 6. You have them picking him at 6. Is that the right move for the Browns?
Well, look, when I did this one, I've got 2 more I still have to do. But when I did this one, it was before free agency. It was, all those things that kick into the whole deal with it. It was after he had run the 4.54, unofficial, that I think was finally officially a 4.52. It was after his group came out and made sure everyone knew that there are a lot of people who hand timed him in the the 4.4s. So all that goes with it. It's my long-winded way of saying he is in a group of receivers this year that I go back to what you just talked about. We believe that we actually feel pretty confident they're going to be good. Who among them will be great? Mm-hmm. I've got Tate as one of those guys that has that chance to be great, and that's why I've got him going at 6 to the Browns. at this time. We'll see where things go. But, he's in a heck of a run of receivers. But I don't know if we're talking about – remember, Justin Jefferson went 22 overall. And everybody remember some of the people who went before him. I believe Jalen Reagor went before him. Things of that nature. So we always know what we're dealing with right now. I think because Lemon is more of a slot receiver. Boston is a bigger guy outside. Concepcion is a slot receiver. Chris Bell's enormous, but we didn't see him at the combine because he's coming off of injury. Omar Cooper Jr. did not blaze a time running. He had a great year, a year at Indiana, but he didn't run in the 4.4s. He ran in the 4.5s. So this is where it all kind of comes in. And Jordan Tyson's been beat up his entire career. He makes some big time, has some big time drops. But he's also been injured a bunch too. So which way do you go with it, guys? It's going to be interesting. Tate's the one I believe in just because this Ohio State pedigree, it's hard to beat. They get to the NFL, and for the most part, the production is there as well.
Charles, who would you say is the best defensive player in this draft?
The best defensive player in this draft?
Yeah.
Downs has a lot of votes for it.
Yeah.
When you put it overall, because he has the smarts, the ability to play in the post, the ability to drop down, all those things that kick in with it. Styles and Tate, you just look at them and you're like, someone said carve me out a football player today. And because they asked for that, they were feeling so good, they said, I'll make you two. That's what they look like, right? Downs is the guy that I really like, but I have to tell you guys, there's a defensive back bias for me. I see the game through safety eyes when I'm analyzing and watching a game. So I just want to acknowledge my little bit of bias that's on top of it.
Fair.
And the interesting part that goes with it for me is there's going to be a lot of discussion about how you would use Downs, right? Where would you play him? To me, he is my safety that's going to control everything on the back end. I will use him in various ways, but we immediately get into the Derwin James, Kyle Hamilton, Nicky Manwari discussion, and I had a great conversation with the young man at the Combine show I was doing, and I mentioned those three guys, and he said, their body types are totally different than my body type. I'm going to get the job done. But what he was telling me, I believe, is I'm going to do it differently than they do it. And that's going to be interesting to see where he goes and how he's utilized. But I'm just crazy about him overall as a player, as a person. And, yes, all the testing went gaga with the others, and they're really good players. But I just trust Downs more than anyone.
Charles, one of the guys that, I absolutely love, there's a few guys. You have David Bailey in that list. There's a guy that I know he doesn't have the longest arms, and I know he's kind of a tweener, but this man, Ruben Bain, every time I just watch him, I just be like, man, he's going to mess somebody's game plan up, and he's relentless. His motor is ever moving. Messidor is on the other side is a guy who is also good. Where could you see, could he be a steal, and could he possibly get out of the top 10? But I just like his raw ability, the Ruben Bain. I just think he's just a tremendous player.
I totally get where you're coming from. And look, let's face it, watching his run through the college football playoff when he was, somewhat unblockable, right? Didn't matter where he's coming off the edge. Didn't matter whether he kicked inside, which a lot of people actually see him doing more of in the NFL and working inside, and maybe that works to his better advantage because of arm length. You got to decide what you feel about arm length. You absolutely do. And I'm one of those people that likes to take it draft by draft because it's always a fun exercise when we go, well, where would this guy have gone in 2023 when these guys came out? Where would this guy have gone in 2025 when these guys came out? It's fun to have the discussion, but this is 2026. He's not in with those people.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're talking about Fernando Mendoza or if we're talking about Ruben Bain. What you're fighting with Bain is history. His arm length. We have not had a guy this short of arms as an edge rusher get double-digit sacks since, I believe, 1987. So you're fighting a lot of history that people have been dealing with And so if you're going to go ahead and make that move, which in this draft you should, because he's one of the best edge rushers in the draft, but are you drafting guys one of the best edge rushers in the draft that ultimately might not get what you're looking for? Or do you just say, I don't care about that. He's going to break through the chains. He's going to be that guy, and I can't unsee what I saw, right?
Right.
And I saw the guy who was in the Batman movie talking about we're going to take it.
I grew
That's
up
what you're fighting with right now. That's what you're dealing with. He could easily get out of the top 10 if people get scared about arm length. Cassius Howell at Texas.
Hold on.
To the
He's back.
rush draft, but both of them are fighting the history of the arm length. And if people get scared off and go other directions, all of a sudden you get Reuben Bain at 15, you got a steal on your hands. You get Reuben Bain at 17, you got a steal on your hands. I don't know that he'll get down there that far. I really don't. I think people like his game. And they also like the fact that when you can Euro step around people, when you beat them with the first step, sometimes those long arm guys can't get their hands on you. So you can make plays anyway. So people who like him are in that camp. People who are afraid of the arm length,
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it with this, guys. Remember when Joey Bosa came out?
Go Bucks.
There's a lot of discussion about Joey Bosa didn't have twitch.
Yeah.
And because Joey Bosa didn't have twitch, I don't know if he can be a double-digit sack guy for me. All these years later, that's laid to rest pretty easily. So that's just what I think. I think watching him, I think someone's going to take him in the top 10.
Charles, I want to get your thoughts on a player that rarely gets talked about. His name is Shedeur Sanders. He's really under the radar.
That's a deep pull. I got to tell you, that's a deep pull, man. I mean, Shedeur Sanders, that name hasn't been mentioned in the last 8 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, right. Obviously there's a lot of debate, I'm sure certainly here, and I'm sure across the country. Should the Browns give Shedeur the chance to be the number one? Should they bring in competition veteran? Should they bring in competition another rookie, or maybe just compete with Deshaun Watson? What's your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders, and what do you think is his potential as a starting quarterback?
He has potential to be a starter in this league. I firmly believe that. I was part of a broadcast crew. You guys remember really well because you followed them so well. Remember when the Ravens came to town last year?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Dylan Gabriel hurt and Shedeur comes into the game, and the whole stadium now is electrified because finally it's here, it's real, it's not preseason, he's going to play. And you remember early the Ravens all descended upon him, and Kyle Hamilton mocked him with his celebration and the whole deal. He had a tough go in that game, okay? Everyone probably would have had a tough go in that game as a rookie with no reps, no snaps, whatever. So I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just trying to keep it real, as we used to say, right? But there was a point in that ball game where he made a throw, and I'm trying to remember who the receiver was. But he's on his back foot, rushed in his face, and he throws one downfield about 25, 30 yards to the corner towards the end zone. And hits my man right in the hands, and he drops it.
Gage Loverdon.
Gage
Yeah, it was Gage.
Yeah, Gage
Yes.
Loverdon.
Yes. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate you. That's when I said, okay, this kid has gone through it now. Like, they've been in his face. The Ravens are descending upon him. They're coming from all angles. Zach Orr, the defensive coordinator, was like, what blitzes haven't I run yet? We're running all of them right now, okay? And who wants to blitz? Get in there. And that's what they were doing, and he hung in, and he hung in, and he hung in. To me, watching him the rest of the year, because I had to watch him on tape to get ready for some other games, I didn't think there was any question the offense moved better, operated better with him at quarterback. Did that make it a great offense? No. But that's not all on him. Again, I'm giving you a little roundabout, but I want you to have context on this thing. Yeah. This kid was talked about being one of the top quarterbacks. He drops to the 5th round. The debate is endless. Preseason, too many quarterbacks. He has a big preseason game, but he's not playing. How is Dylan Gabriel ahead of him? Why shouldn't he be? We've been through it all with him. All I'm saying is give him the opportunity to compete for the job. and let the chips fall where they may. I do think we are at that stage now of maybe conspiracy theories are going to go out the window. We're not going to check out, like just like we started with the show. Hey man, the guy in the corner who works his corner every week, he says, and then we got that going again. I just think you give him a chance to operate. I don't care who you bring in. Dylan Gabriel's a career backup in my mind, and I thought that when the draft came through, I said it numerous times beforehand. I've been told by somebody I really respected, and I believed it. Draft him as your backup because he's going to run your offense, but he's not your starter. Shedeur could possibly be your starter. If they wanted to compete with Deshaun Watson, that's entirely up to the Browns. I don't know why we're still having this discussion. I figured out it and ease on down the road, like they said in The Wiz. That's just me. Other people have figured out the cap hit with other people, and it hasn't been great, but Denver got through it, and they seem to be doing okay. Miami's taking it on right now with Tua. I just don't understand what you're gaining on all of this, but that's up to the Browns. That's not up to me, but I definitely want them to be able to compete for that job.
I want to ask you about what the Browns should do at 24. One of the talks of the draft or the combine was Monroe Freeland, the tackle from Georgia. Is that a good spot? Will he be there at 24? Because I know he's had such a good combine.
I've got him way down there on my mock draft, right, guys? I got him somewhere in the late 20s, if I remember correctly. I don't have mine in front of me. If someone can just kind of punch that up.
You got him at 27, Charles. Just a heads up.
Yeah,
him at 27, and the Browns taking Blake Miller at 24. I got you.
Okay, so we're all talking the same place, right? We're talking offensive line, right? I don't know that he's getting that far. Like, I put him at 27, and one of my good friends called me and said, "Hey, loved your mock." I said, "Okay, here comes the but." He goes, "Oh, yeah." he goes, Freeling not getting that far, man. He's not getting down there to 27. So I said, "Well, where's he going?" He said the way his combine went with his upside, with his tape, he projects him maybe being top 15. That's just kind of where he's going right now. So to answer your question, if he's there at that number, I would run to Athens, Georgia, and grab him before someone else gets a speeding ticket back there. That's for sure.
Charles, I'm going to stick on the offensive line. There's a couple of names. Lamu, Spencer Fano, Maui Noah.
And Blake Miller, who you had there.
Blake Miller from Clemson, I like him a lot too. But then the guy, Caden Proctor, how do you feel about, in general, when somebody says, okay, we know you play tackle, but you got a guard body. You may got guard athleticism. Are you comfortable picking a guy that has played tackle his whole life and then projecting him to guard? Is that something that you would do, or would you just take a guy who is a guard, like maybe the kid from Iowa, Dunker, or somebody else that played guard? Yes.
You talk about my man with the flow?
Oh yeah. I fell in love with the flow and the locks in the back. I just feel like he should just be just a mauler. I just think I just fell in love with him.
And he is. And the funny part about him, Gunnar Demings, he's a tackle that's going to go to guard. He's exactly what you're talking about. Like, he's going to guard. I mean, he knows it. Family knows it. People in Iowa, like, he's going to guard, okay? I have no problem making that transition with certain people and doing it. With Proctor, I'm not so sure he has to go inside. Proctor's biggest thing to me is he going to show up every week like he showed up for the combine at 352? He's going to do that. I can play him at tackle. And to me, he looks like a Detroit Lion all day long. That looks exactly right. And think about what's happened in the last week in Detroit. Taylor Decker's asked for release, wants to be somewhere else. We know now that means they're going to take Penei Sewell and kick him from right to left like the Buccaneers did with Tristan Wirfs, right? They've signed who did they sign? They signed someone to play right tackle. But that's not a guy that I'm going into the season feeling very comfortable with. He's been a career backup most of his time and has never really held the job. I'm sorry, the name's escaping me. But Caden Proctor fits really well for what the Lions like to do. I keep play him at right tackle, even though he's been a left tackle at Alabama. His biggest thing is consistency and keeping his weight in check. Can he move inside? Absolutely. He's got the perfect body to move inside and be a ginormous inside interior guard. Kind of like Kansas City had to do with Kingsley Sumaotea, right? Now, they projected him to be their left tackle. He couldn't handle it, didn't work well. They ended up having, remember, was it 2 years ago when Joe Tooney had to play tackle in the run to the Super Bowl? They ended up moving Sumaotea into guard last year, and he played guard the entire year, and that's where he's going to be the rest of his career. But I want him to fail at tackle before I move him into guard. That's how I feel about Proctor. Proctor's a round offensive tackle if you buy in that you're getting that guy that we saw at the Combine. Yeah. But consistency of play may kick him to the second round. People may not trust him that way.
It was Larry Borum that they signed to play right tackle.
The idea that Larry Borum's going to be your right tackle in Detroit feels like a placeholder to me. Sorry, Larry Borum. He may want a piece of me. Hopefully I can still be quick and get away from him. But more like a placeholder than it does, this is the 5 we're going into the season with.
Charles, what did you think about what the Browns have done in free agency so far? Zion Johnson, who was a guard, who seemed to have struggled with the Chargers. The Browns are going to make him the starting left guard because Bitonio is probably going to retire. And then they signed Quincy Williams, who had a down year last year after some great success earlier in his career with the Jets. And he replaces Devin Bush, who had been a huge bust but had a great season here last year. So what do you think so far what the Browns have done?
I'll start with Quincy Williams. Quincy Williams at his best is better than Devin Bush at his best. So I like that move for the Browns there. If you're losing Devin Bush and you're getting Quincy Williams, he had a down year last year, but did you see the Jets play?
Yeah.
Awful, yeah.
Yeah. We were there.
Okay. Listen, I've spent just a little bit of time across the pond, and I should never do accents, but they were bloody awful. Okay? so when you watch play, everyone gets affected by that, and that's part of it. Him with a fresh start, still young, something to prove. I like that one for the Browns. I like getting Zion Johnson inside a guard, too. I think he's a good player. May have had a down year with the Chargers last year and struggled for whatever reason. But if Bitonio is going to retire, who has been incredible, I mean, that guy just lining up and making starts week in and week out and doing so well. It's hard to believe that interior that they had that was rolling so well for them may be no more, right? Wyatt Teller, right? Bitonio. Yeah. Okay, but after J.C. Treader, who was a big, tall center that they had in there.
Poaches.
So, Posich, right? So all of that looks like it's going. I like it. That part is a good one. I've watched this free agency, and there's a whole lot of money going out there to a whole lot of people. Congratulations to them. How many of them have made you guys come out of your chairs, though, and just go, ooh, they got him? That's phenomenal. Max Crosby.
A couple.
For me,
not a lot.
But it's really cool, right? It's people changing teams. It's people going to different spots. You're hoping they'll be better in the other place than they were before. I think an underrated one has happened in Washington, and that was getting Odafe Oweh. Because you remember – when he got traded last year to the Chargers from the Ravens, he had 0 sacks at that point of the season. But he was getting to the quarterback. Pressure numbers were high. He just wasn't getting home. And what got lost in that mix, the year before he had 10 sacks. He had double-digit sacks. He came out of Penn State his last year with 0 sacks his last year and still went in the first round, and they kept developing him. They couldn't wait any longer. They had other needs. They made the move. I was on the broadcast team the first game he played for the Chargers. And I remember the night before we're having our production meeting, I just said, guys, I'm no soothsayer here, okay? All right? I don't live in a community with sinners, so, I'm not a haint or anything like that. All right? Always going to have a big day tomorrow. Guys, after a trade, things happen, blah, blah, blah. He hasn't had a sack. I said, he's going to scratch tomorrow. He had 2. Ended up having, I think, 6 or 8 for the season for the Chargers. I really think that the Commanders have gotten an excellent one there. A lot of people think they've overpaid. We shall see. But in today's market, that's just what it is, cost of doing business. I think that's a big one for Dan Quinn. he should be hitting the prime of his career right now. It's not a huge transaction, but I think it's one of the key ones because I'm with you guys. I thought I saw you gesturing. I don't think there have been a lot of big-time moves that we're all just jumping up. But, oh, my God. Yes.
No, I was
Crosby's the biggest one, and that's a trade.
The last thing I just wanted to hit on real quick, because I know you, before free agency yesterday, you had the Bengals drafting Caleb Downs, and I'm just curious, what did you think? They signed Cook from Kansas City. I know he's an excellent tackler. Geno Stone was the worst tackler. How big a move is that for them?
I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move for Cincinnati, but that wouldn't stop me from taking Caleb Downs. Like, I'm of the opinion.
Oh.
We've all worn out the Clyde Drexler Jordan thing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even get into that part because that was greatness and greatness. People forget Clyde Drexler is one of the top players in the 50th and 75th anniversaries of the NBA.
Yep.
He's an Olympian. All right. He was a great, great player. It's just that was Jordan. Okay. Yeah. We didn't know it at the time, but it became. I just don't think you turn down a guy at a position just because you said you signed someone. And to me, Downs has the opportunity to be a great safety. I think Cook is a good safety when he's at the top of his game. Downs, I got a chance to do more. So I'm not saying don't take him or, at that point, or I'm not even saying what I'm doing my next mock draft. But I'm not going to shy away from Cincinnati about Downs just because I signed Cook.
Charles, great insight as always, man.
Awesome.
We appreciate the time. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. And I've asked people to use the stopwatch on me for hand timing as opposed to electronic timing because I want to be just like Carnell Tate. My times are better hand time.
The one and only Charles Davis.
Thanks,
Thank
Charles.
You so much,
we appreciate
Charles.
it, man. He's
Very much
awesome.
Appreciate your insight. All right, guys, we're going to pivot. We're going to talk a little Cavs, and then we'll get back to football to wrap up today's show. Reminder, we mentioned it earlier, download the WKYC app. You can take a little picture of the QR code on your screen, and starting on March 23rd, we're moving from
we should give the full breadth of this again, Mike, because if you're just joining us for the first time, the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, beginning on March 23rd, is moving, both time and location to some degree. The show, which has been 11 to 1 since our inception, will now be from 10 a.m. to noon if you watch us live, 10 a.m. to noon, starting March 23rd. And you can only watch the first hour exclusively on the WKYC Plus app. You could download it anywhere, TV, any devices. It costs nothing. There is no cost. We're not making money off of this. This is good for the long-term future of the show, but it will not cost you, the fans, a dime. But you can only watch the first hour of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show starting March 23rd at 10 a.m. and on the WKYC app. The second hour will, in addition to being on the app, will be on YouTube. But again, 10 to noon starting the 23rd. Very easy to use that QR code there.
Totally free. Simple. All right, guys, let's talk a little Cavaliers basketball. Yeah. It was a boring yet dominant win for the Cavaliers yesterday against a very much shorthanded 76ers team. James Harden in the game scored his 29,000th career point. 29,000 career points.
I don't know where James Harden. I don't have context for that. It's not like baseball for me.
I think it's 8th all time.
With 29,000 points. Yeah. One of 11 players ever to reach that threshold. An incredible accomplishment for James Harden. As far as the game goes, they beat the Sixers.
What you mean? It was somebody that flashed yesterday.
My guy Keon
Ellis, baby. Hey.
And Dean Wade
I didn't know he had
game.
a jumper like this. I was like, oh, cash him out, baby. Listen, if we can get that version of Keon Ellis on a night-to-night basis, not even a night-to-night basis, one and every other night, boy, the Cavs can make some noise happen. I mean, the man was on fire from the trade line yesterday. I was excited. The nice little steal, dished it up to get the assist. Hey, dude, all right,
so,
man.
Ty,
dude, all right.
Pre-game, I asked Kenny, said, hey, you've talked about Keon's defense, but where do you think he fits in offensively so far? What have you seen? And he said he's been okay. He's still trying to find his jump shot. He gave him a B for what he had done prior, and as soon as we get into the post-game last night, he's like, Mike, I was wrong. He got an A today. And Keon had his best game offensively as a Cavalier last night. He even showed off something that Kenny said he didn't know he had in his bag. He came off a down screen, got into the lane, and finished with a floater. And that surprised even his own head coach at this point, who's still kind of learning how to fit Keon best into this offense. And I thought Kenny said something that we could talk about for a second before we move on, because the game itself.
We got to give some credit to Dean Wade, who had a good game after December for the first time in his career.
Fourth career double-double. We'll get to Dean in a second, because Dean falls into this category. Kenny was talking about the depth they have on this roster and how these last 20 games are essentially an audition for the role guys to solidify their spot in the playoff rotation. And every practice, he said, every game, every opportunity that they are on the court, as long as they're healthy enough to be there, they need to be there, is these guys competing against each other, obviously in the context of trying to win basketball games. Competing with each other to solidify a spot in the playoff rotation. If Dean does what he did last night, Bull,
which he won't,
he's a lock. If Keon Ellis does what he did last night, Keon certainly has a.
Sam Merrill's been awful the last 2 games.
Yeah, I think something's wrong with his finger.
We're starting the excuses because you like him.
No. Just I could say at halftime yesterday.
Was he like 1 for his last 20?
Well, even more discouraging than that. Hold on, I made a note of it. So he came out early from halftime yesterday. Sam Merrill just warming up. He went 10 of 22 on unguarded threes.
In practice?
Like before the start of second half.
Okay.
That
you
tells
were keeping
me,
track of that. Look at you.
He was the only one out there. There was no halftime show yesterday.
Yeah.
Sam Merrill should be making like 20 of 22 threes. Right. I've seen Sam Merrill make 22 of 22 when he comes out.
So maybe there is something going on with him.
Something with his finger feels off, because these are now back-to-back games, Bull. Hasn't been able to
can't do anything.
And it has some good looks. These aren't all contested.
Right.
I'm a little concerned. Some with the finger, to me. I'm just keeping an eye on it. But 10 of 22 uncontested at half, not a great sign for Sam.
What are you uncontested?
What am I uncontested?
Yeah, out of 22 shots.
I feel like I can make 15, 16.
He's buying that?
He's under Mike.
Sam should never go 10 of 20. And unless he's hurt, which very well could be. Sam's way too good of a shooter to go 10 of 22.
Boy, you think you can make 15 of 22 and NBA 3?
No.
Like, you just go out on the court. And by the way, like, there's the pressure of people watching and all that stuff.
You want me to film 22 threes on Thursday night when I go play pickup?
What's that?
You want to film myself shooting 22 threes?
I mean, that's not an NBA 3, is it?
No, I wasn't thinking NBA. I'm not making 15 or 16 NBA.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, man,
14. I'll give myself 14 NBA threes.
By the way, man,
one less.
Shooting. We played at the time. It was Gund Arena. We played up here in high school, and people don't be understanding. Depth perception is a whole different thing in NBA arenas. When you shooting threes with no backdrop,
It's funny. Michael know this for playing D3, and although I don't know if in your conference this experience, but
there was
the games, the conferences I worked in. I worked for 2 different schools calling D3 basketball, right? And we would play, D3 basketball gyms are like a high school gym, basically, in most cases, right? So it's a small gym. And then, like, the conference tournament, especially with one league I was in, we would play at this hockey arena that was like a 4,000 or 5,000 seat arena. And so they'd put a basketball court down, and you'd have and the first day, nobody can make a shot. Nobody.
I'll give you real quick. I'll give you a more recent example.
Yeah.
Tyrese Proctor. Played with the Charge last week.
Right.
I was Tuesday night last week, I believe he played. Started the game 0 for 6. Finished the game with 29 points. Made 11 of his last 13 shots.
Yeah.
He was with the Cavs the next day, and I was like, "Hey, Tyrese, like what? Hell of a game." And he goes, "It took me an entire 10 minutes to figure out the depth." Because they're playing at Public Hall, the old concert venue.
Right.
Where one half has a backdrop.
It is weird when that's like that. It's so bizarre for the players.
It genuinely makes a difference if you're not used to it.
It's like the second hardest thing in the world. I actually put that second. Now hooping outside with wind and on a double rim, if you hitting jumpers outside, you elite. You are.
Grew up hoity-toity. He didn't play outside.
Them double rims outside.
If you hitting on a double rim, you elite.
You are you can't hit the backboard.
You can't hit nothing but the net.
Like, there wouldn't even be like a net.
It would be. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It would just be like, dude.
Or there'd be like the chain net.
Yeah, the chain.
Now hold on.
I love the chain net.
Shut up.
Because when you shoot a hard net on them chains.
Hey, bro, listen.
that sound.
Man, that sound like when somebody decide to give you their phone number and you didn't think he was gonna get it. And be like, can I get your number?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, man, I already gave it to you. You'd be like, what? Already got it in there? when you hit that jumper and them nets and them chains hit, it's worth more points.
Great.
It's like worth 4 points. It's 4 points because you deflated.
Sometimes the net is like ripped and it comes out the side and you're arguing about whether it went in or not.
And you shooting good.
Yeah.
Good. Boy. Some of y'all young boys don't even know playing 21 or 33 and pick up. And y'all don't even know what it feel like to be on the playground and tell somebody, yeah, get off the sticks, man.
Y'all
Y'all gotta
always
wait for
one guy calling fouls. You'd be like, shut up.
He's like, hold ball. What you mean you always holding ball?
33 and you scored 32. It's like, gotta go back.
Gotta go back.
Last thing in the game, though, we'll get out. So 29,000 points for Harden.
Right?
Can you name the other 7?
Sure can.
Other 8, NBA players?
Sure.
Kareem.
I said 11, real quick. I said 11 at first. That includes the ABA.
Nah.
Taking those guys out.
Kareem. LeBron, Kareem.
Correct.
Karl Malone.
Correct. That's 1, 2, 3.
Michael.
Yep.
Michael. Kobe.
Yep. That's the top 5.
Kevin Durant.
That's the top 6.
That's the top 6.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Yep.
That's the top 7.
Yep.
We're missing one more.
We missing one.
So
The numbers are all skewed because of the threes now.
The next one's an old guy. It's
Larry Bird.
Not Larry Bird.
Nah, he was hurt.
Wilt.
That is number 8.
Oh, yeah, we should have known. And that was with no threes.
Yeah, and then, so Kevin Durant got to be in the top.
He in there.
And
Durant
Kareem
6.
did it with no. I mean, did Kareem? How many threes did Kareem have?
Never.
In his whole
Kareem.
career?
Yeah,
I can tell you
0.
right now. Hold on.
probably. I mean, think about all the points he scored.
0.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the most underrated player in the history
Guess
of
how
the
many
league.
threes Kareem had in his career?
1.
Correct.
1?
Guess how many he took in his entire career?
7.
3.
18.
Oh.
Kareem was so dominant that they changed the dunk.
He
couldn't even dunk because of
Most underrated player ever.
He had a
Ever. Maybe in any sport.
Move.
Yeah,
Him and Dirk both had a move that was just like unguardable.
Shaq is somewhere on that list.
Underrated?
No, I mean points.
Yeah. I don't
Shaq
think
has
that-
the 10th most points of all time, by the way.
So we didn't ran off the top 10.
You
How
guys
many
literally
threes did Shaq hit in his career?
Oh,
I can tell you.
0.
No. Shaq had in his entire career, that's per game, I need the totals. Shaq had 1 3 as well. Who had a higher 3-point percentage?
I'm going to
Shaq
say
or
Kareem.
Shaq.
Kareem. Shaq was 1 of 22. Kareem was
Dang.
1 of 18.
That's crazy.
That must have felt good when he
I
hit
would
that.
love to see what Shaq hit.
I mean,
I think
Shaq was 1 of 22 from the line.
Close.
What's his career? What was his career free throw percentage?
First career?
Yeah.
33%.
No.
Shaq.
Like 55?
42.
53.
That's just pathetic.
I
There's no
think
excuse for
there's
that.
there's an outside chance. Is there an outside chance that LeBron James is first in scoring, top 5 in assists, and top 20 in rebounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's already.
I'm about to say he probably there.
He
now.
already got.
He's number 1 in scoring.
He's
I
like
gotta
3rd in assists, ain't he? 4th.
He's never going to catch Stockton for first in assists. I
No,
don't think.
Chris
right?
Paul is the closest, I think, and he ain't catching them.
Yeah,
I think
Mark Jackson.
I feel
third.
like he like 4th in assists already.
He might. If he top 5
Is he
in
past
assists.
Jason Kidd?
If he top 5 in assists, this is disgusting.
Is he past Magic and Jason Kidd?
He's 4th in assists
Oh, I was right.
behind John Stockton, Chris Paul, and Jason Kidd.
Can he catch Chris Paul?
So he caught Magic.
He'll finish his career 2nd.
That's just crazy.
He's got. He'll definitely pass Jason. He's 200 assists away from Jason Kidd. He's 700 from Chris Paul. Probably won't catch Chris Paul.
How many is he? No, he might get 700 more
rebound.
assists.
Now I think he has more rebounds. I think he might have more rebounds than David Robinson.
I'm putting up the all-time
Probably played a
rebounds
lot
list.
longer.
Yeah, rebounds. Can he be
David
top
Robinson
20?
how old was David Robinson when he was a rookie? 23?
Yeah.
He will 100% pass. He'll crack the top 20. Probably won't get any higher than. If he plays one more season, I think he could get to number 18.
Who's the all-time leader? Moses Malone?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh, you ain't stopping that.
Where's Rodman on there?
7th.
He might got more rebounds than Rodman.
7th.
Dennis Rodman.
He might got more rebounds than Rodman.
You don't think Rodman's top 20 in rebounds?
LeBron's 23 currently. Dennis Rodman's 24.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
By the way, he has more steals than Scottie Pippen.
I mean, at that point, it's a longevity thing.
Yeah, I mean,
that's wild work.
It is wild work.
If you gonna say I got more assists than Stockton.
Well, not Stockton.
Mark Price. The Mark Price. I got more steals than Pippen.
I got more assists than Magic.
More assists than Magic. More rebounds than Dennis Rodman. And I scored more points than Michael.
And more steals than Pippen.
That's crazy.
And more blocks than who?
And by the way, I got more playoff 3-pointers than anybody but Steph Curry.
Yeah, how far ahead is Steph Curry? Must be very far ahead, right? No, I don't know.
He's second all time in 3-point made in the.
LeBron?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk. Let's get back to the NFL. Talk about some of the other significant moves.
Yeah, if you want more Cavs, we'll do an Ultimate Cavs show tomorrow. You can find it on our YouTube page. It'll be at some point tomorrow. We will get to that.
I haven't been looking at. We had any?
No real moves. Before I got a question before we talk about the other moves. Then we'll get into the other moves. I want to hear your prediction when we come back on the show tomorrow. I know none of you guys are here tomorrow, but when we come back on tomorrow, will the Browns have made a signing? And if so, who do you think? Give me a position. Give me your prediction for whatever Andrew Berry will do next in free agency.
I think the Browns will sign a wide receiver, but not a big money one. I think they will make a move in. I'm trying to think.
Christian Kirk.
Maybe something on that level. Like just a veteran.
Let me see.
They need
guy to be like a third receiver because they have a 2 in Judy. They have, in my opinion, a 4 in Bond. They got to draft a 1, hopefully, and I think they sign a third receiver. Could it still be Romeo Doubs? Maybe, but he's probably going to get paid a lot since we've seen some of these other wide receivers.
At least $40 million. At least $40 million.
So I can't see them doing that. So I think they'll go maybe the Christian Kirk route or somebody of that ilk, like a veteran.
Darnell Mooney.
Or Did he resign? No.
He got released.
He got released by they got Christian Kirk, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel.
No, I'm not interested in him. Darren Smith keeps telling me Tyreek Hill's going back to Kansas City.
Tutu Atwell, Marquise Brown, Curtis Samuel, Jawan Jennings is a free agent. Hopkins.
That's not a bad one there. Jawan Jennings, I mean, he's been a pretty good player. Man, Marquise Brown has like gone off a cliff.
Jawan Jennings ain't going to
right.
Jawan Jennings is what?
They're not going to sign him.
Why?
Because Shelby and Miles was about to fight him when Malik Collins got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
0%. He come here, they will jump him in the locker room.
Yeah, you're right.
I forgot about that.
Get him off the list. Sky Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster.
No.
John Mechie.
No.
Hunter Renfro, Zay Jones.
Nah, now we're in the...
Now, Cordell Hodge.
Kadaro. Yeah. Kirk might make some sense, and there was another... Who was give me the guys between Kirk...
Curtis Samuel.
It's Curtis Samuel, Christian Kirk, Deebo Samuels, Damani Brown, Tutu Atwell, Curtis Samuel, Marquise Browns, Jawan Jennings, DeAndre Hopkins, Greg Dortch, Noah Brown, Keenan Allen.
Think...
Noah Brown, go
Do
Bucks.
we think, what's his name? The guy, Hollywood Brown. Do we think he has anything left?
I don't know. I mean, I
He
guess.
seems like he went off a cliff quick.
Kind of do.
If he didn't make it work with Patrick Mahomes.
That's kind of crazy.
At this point, though, beggars can't be any receiver they bring in.
I just think they need a veteran that's still got. I think Christian Kirk's got enough juice to be a third receiver.
He's a great locker room guy, according to all reports.
Van Jefferson.
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, but is he going to want to come here at the end of his career?
What's the
This
Gabe
might be his
Davis?
only option.
Y'all like Gabe Davis?
No.
Okay. It's looking crazy to underneath.
I'm with
Romeo
you.
Dobbs, Calvin Austin. It's
Tate Tyson, 11 at 6.
Yeah, this is it's getting Minimowski.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Christian Kirk.
All right,
Browns signed Christian Kirk, 2 years, $14.6 million.
Zay Jones is always available.
They're gonna say he want 2 for 20.
All right, I'll give him 2 for 20. I mean, in this day and age, that's not too bad.
G and Ty, who's your pick for the
Who's your pick,
next
guys?
move? Or even a position.
Doesn't have to be a wide receiver. I was just
Probably
saying,
some guard.
you think they're gonna sign another guard?
Joe Batonio's announced his retirement today, so they're gonna.
He did?
No, he will.
Oh.
he will.
It's like, how did I miss that?
Pretty. Ain't today the deadline?
Is today the deadline, Mike? Or is
Today
it
is, no, they have to. We will know tomorrow. One of the topics.
tomorrow's the deadline, right?
No. Today's the deadline. We will know by
Oh,
tomorrow's
yeah,
show.
okay.
We will do a topic tomorrow, I promise you guys, on either Joe Bitonio retired, how do you fix it, or Joel's coming back, what does it mean for the Browns? That will be in the show tomorrow, I can assure you. And we got Zach Jackson on with some inside information on that.
I'm looking for a Minimowski tight end too. I'm looking for somebody.
Yeah, those guys got paid like that. Charlie Kohler got paid.
It's a little too rich for my blood. I'm looking for somebody because I don't really want to use no draft capital on no tight end. If I can get me a receiver, if I ain't gonna get one, so they got dudes like Jonnu Smith, and Jonnu Smith, he 30, he about to be 31. However, they had like
too much last year.
They had like 7 tight ends.
They did.
They
have
had
a lot.
Freiermuth. They had the big dude, the big huge tight end, Darnell Washington. So then I'm cool on Taysom Hill. I didn't know he was 36. Dallas Goedert is 31. Zach Ertz is 35. Some of these old dudes.
Taysom Hill is more than just a tight end, though. Like,
I think it's going to be all offensive line because the Browns, they missed on the Elijah Vera Tucker. They wanted him. They wanted Linderbaum. They didn't get him.
Right.
So I feel like if they end like on these bids, like essentially they're trying to get some linemen.
You know who I think would be an interest if you wanted to go to I don't know that they want a veteran at this position. But you know who'd be a cheap signing that I think could help the Browns on offense? Rashad White.
The who?
He was the Buccaneers'
the
number 2 back.
Yeah, good player.
He was like he was like the Bucky Irving compliment.
Right.
You out on Samson?
No, but I don't.
I want to talk to Samson.
I think like Rashad White, Samson's not like you got to have another option for our first and second down back.
Right.
Like Judkins is not going to be on the field for every first and second down. And I feel like Dylan Sampson's more of that third down specialty back. I want another guy who can get you, can get you 3-4 yards, can do some stuff on the goal line. Rashad White's a nice number 2, legit number 2 back. He's been a solid player for Tampa.
They got
Browns going to get Nick Westbrook.
Nick Akinye Westbrook?
That's who they go.
Didn't he have I think 2 years ago, Nick Westbrook had 22 catches and 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Some weird number
with
like
the Titans.
that.
Y'all think
The
Austin
Titans went bananas yesterday. They signed 10 guys.
Yeah, from the Jets and Giants.
Y'all think Austin Eckler's washed?
Yeah.
Well, you're not kidding. This dude's numbers in 24 were stupidly weird.
Yeah.
Who?
I had him.
Akinye?
I had him in fantasy.
Oh,
so
did
I
they
know
sign
it.
him, or are you joking around?
No.
I looked at his
He's a
stats.
free agent.
Yeah, what was his catch to touchdown? It was crazy.
He had, in 2024,
Yeah.
I am not kidding, 32 receptions, 497 yards, and 9 touchdowns.
9 touchdowns on 32 catches.
Okay.
That's insane.
Here's three guys.
Yeah.
He led the NFL with a 58.7 success rate in terms of receiving.
That's probably going to be the best ever in the history of the league.
First down or touchdown. That's nuts.
Pacheco or Keaton Mitchell?
They're interesting.
I'd rather Keaton Mitchell.
He can't.
I'd rather have Rashad White than either of those guys. He's more durable.
I like those. I like them too.
Pacheco, I loved, but he hasn't done anything the last 2 years.
I know. It's like he's
and
available.
Keaton Mitchell he's young, but he can't ever stay on the field.
Pacheco is 27. Keaton Mitchell's only 24 too.
I know, but he's been hurt.
He's been hurt.
His whole career so
we need
far.
another. But I like those 3. I would go with yours. I do like the back from the
It's not
Rashad White.
I'm not saying you could. The Browns should be run heavy.
Yeah.
They need
Fix
2
that
backs.
O-line. Have Quinshawn get 20 carries and then give another 8 to Rashad or touches and another 5 to Dylan Sampson. Let's go.
Do you like, because you watch the Big Ten, and I keep running across this name. What do you think about Nick Singleton?
The Penn State running back?
Penn State running back.
He was supposed to be as a true freshman. He was like going to be the next great back out of the Big Ten. And every year after that, it regressed to the point where Kaytron Allen kind of overtook him as running back one.
And then Kaytron Allen, but then it's like, I mean, he has a weird build. Like
he can catch and run out of the back.
That's crazy because Singleton's supposed to have better hands. He was supposed to be looking like
he fell off a little bit.
I know,
like sick.
It's kind of because he played 4 years. And you like, every time I would look at it, but I'm with Bull. I wouldn't mind, get me another little running back to run with that, just to run his rock, because I want to keep what's the name fresh too. I know his ankle is cool, he'd be ready to go, but Quinshon Judkins, he'd be cool, he's ready to go, but I need something else too.
Need more depth in at that position, no doubt.
Yeah.
Is this week we doing the championship?
Yeah, championship round, man. Championship. We moved in our receiver bracket tournament. By the way, we did run back 10 receivers, and there is a guy from John Carroll,
Tyron Montgomery.
Now, I didn't find out about him until Zach said, and people was talking about that he was destroying people at the Senior Bowl. And this dude, I'm not gonna lie. He's running around. He had a number 4 on, and he's running around. You know how when
he
you play.
He got some raw talent.
He got some raw talent. There's some receivers. CJ Daniels. I like him out of Miami. It's a lot of dudes.
Malachi Fields.
Notre
Dame. That boy. He ran a 4.6, but that boy got some good catch radius.
Yeah,
boy.
He's out there.
6'4".
Yeah. I like it. But it's so funny. You talk yourself in and out, like Bull said. You talk yourself in and out of a corner, and we started with Carnell Tate, and then we ended with Carnell Tate. So, and I'm just telling you, man, the dude, he's a pro.
0% chance the Browns draft him.
I don't want to say it.
Carnell Tate is a 0% chance?
We all want him.
We want him.
Yeah, they never take the
so now I've actually just gracefully bowed out of any predictions because I do not want to get destroyed.
They always well, think about it. The 2 guys they signed in free agency yesterday, we never talked about either of them.
None of them. None. Zero.
Right?
We don't even know who they are. Like,
who was the last guy they took? We were like, oh yeah, I expected that.
The last guy that they took that we expected,
Judkins in the 2nd round.
Yeah, we did talk about him.
Yeah,
but nobody else,
because he was on the board. It was him and Travion Henderson,
and I think we talked about Fannin too.
Yeah, we talked about Fannin, but the
we
rest
certainly
of
didn't talk about Graham and Schlesinger
at all.
Yeah,
Shedeur Sanders.
We did, not in the 5th round, but we certainly didn't talk about Dylan Gabriel.
No, we didn't.
All right, Mike, speaking of Dylan Gabriel, let's get to Super Chats, because that's what he's going to be doing in a couple of years.
Oh, my God.
We have some Super Chats. Just be ready.
Yeah.
For all of them. Okay, let's get into it. Johnson.
I'm sure we got a lot of people that are mad at me for the initial argument that G and I were having in the beginning of the show.
They're probably mad at me.
Leaving YouTube and about a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
But we're going to get into it all. Damon Johnson says, Jason gets no pass. You can't save him, talking about the man's intelligence. So Deion Sanders didn't teach his son to read a defense or how to watch film. Yeah, okay.
Jason doesn't need a pass. He is sharing opinions. He is sharing information that he got from people. He doesn't.
Yeah, I didn't say give him a pass. I never said that. I just wanted people to.
But fans are going to feel the way they feel. That's just how it goes. It's fine.
Derek Waldmiller says your competitors are coming to YouTube because the traditional route doesn't work. You got a lot of people like me who have been here since Jump Street that are ticked off because it cuts us off.
Why would it cut you off?
When we're on the app, I'm not sure. I don't know if the chat will exist. I'm not sure if that will be incorporated.
Well, then we'll find another way for people to chat.
Yeah, well, listen, we have answers to like 2 of about 300 questions.
Yeah.
This is all new to us, too.
We'll find a way for people to chat.
Yeah, you guys are the backbone of the show. Seriously, like, I'm talking to the chat and everyone who watches. You guys are the backbone of the show. The reason there was no overtime yesterday was we had the executives here from Tegna who were letting us know. We didn't even know this was happening.
Honestly, we just found out about it yesterday.
Yeah,
we had no idea.
Yesterday's show, knowing any of this, there was no overtime yesterday because we learned this at 1 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah, let me just say to the fans, okay? I understand change is always scary. It's scary for us too, okay? Without getting into details because they'll be boring for you, we need to do this for the viability long term of our show. all right? We love doing this. Even when we argue and debate sometimes, we all love working here. We love doing this show. We have a ton of fun. And we want it to continue for the foreseeable future. And the only way for this show to remain viable in its current form is to go to the app and that's just how it has to be. So we're doing that right now. We hope you will all come there with us. We want the fans to continue to be a part of the show, and we will find a way to continue for you to be a part of the show.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is to ease some of your concerns is this is not all worked out. This is not all concrete. Like, we don't know a lot of the different things, but I will always say that, I believe that it's important and imperative that we do everything we can to keep the lifeblood of what we are. The lifeblood is the interaction. The lifeblood is our relationship with the fans, the community, and we have a fan base that we have. Our job is to make sure and ensure that our fan base still understands that we are still giving the same level of content. How we go about delivering that is yet to be divulged, and there's a lot of smart people working on that. But trust me, everybody here is invested in having your voice still be a major part of what we're doing. That is what our as hosts are.
And we appreciate that the fans are upset because they want to be able to watch the show. That means a lot to us. But better that we move platforms and be able to do a show for the next decade than stay on only YouTube and then the show could go away at some point. So. That's why we are doing this.
I promise you guys. Tyvis, you go first.
No, go ahead, because this has nothing to do with that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I promise you guys. I know a lot of stuff that we can't say on air a lot, and whether it's stuff behind the scenes with the Cavs, the Browns, the Guardians, behind the scenes workings, you can only share so much. I genuinely do not know the answers to a lot of the questions that we've seen in the chat. That, you asked me prior to the show that Anthony, myself, Steve.
We're all waiting for answers. We will have them. Yeah.
As soon as we get some answers, we'll put out a whole separate video on the exact details, the who, the what, the whens, the where, the whys.
Well, we have the only thing that's important right now is that we're going to be on 10 to noon starting the 23rd, and the first hour is only on WKYC Plus.
Exactly.
We're sorry if that upsets you. It stinks if it upsets you. We hope you won't go away. We hope you will come over with us. This is what we're doing. The second hour will remain on YouTube, but it is what it is. This is happening, and so everybody's got to get used to it, us included. It's a little weird for us to be taking commercial breaks. We're used to just flowing the whole time. So that's going to be an adjustment for us, but it's a good thing in the long run for everybody. Tyvis, go ahead.
You was talking about how important it is to have fans' voices be heard.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, because I get mad at the fans.
As a fan, my voice needs to be heard. I need my hoodie.
Oh, yeah, that is
I've been waiting on my barbershop.
Listen,
where's the barbershop?
Where is my hoodie? Listen,
it's a fair question.
Rosie, I'm gonna listen. Rosie, I need you to put an expedited order for Tyvis, and also I have to expedite the order for Earl because he is watching cutting videos. He's gonna hate on this. Let's go ahead and put those in.
Yeah, come on. All right, Mike.
And we're going to read all the super chats today because these are important.
So we'll just go past 1 o'clock. No official overtime.
Chris Fox says R.I.P. to the OG UCSS. Young Among 7618 says Jason said Shador doesn't watch film, which is completely a lie, almost borderline defamation because it's nothing but videos of him studying film.
I can't.
Go ahead.
Again,
Go ahead. There's nothing we can say. It's all right. Go ahead.
Okay. Next one. Nate Godwin says Dylan is a faster processor than Shador. He just lacks talent. 12 has more talent but can't read a blitz to save his life. Dylan is a better processor.
No. Dylan Gabriel had about 15 picks, like 75 picks, almost picks. I don't agree with that.
Go ahead.
Next. Any Lover G says, for Tyvis, open competition aside, remember there was a report that the plan was originally to sit Shador for a year so we can learn the mental side.
Yeah, I do remember that.
They did. They was talking about that red shirt year.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who reported that?
No idea.
Jason. It was one of Jason's reports. So if you believe that.
But it's still OTAs wise. Like when you get to know guys and all those things, you still should rotate them through. Like even this year with OTAs, I'd still rotate them all through. And then by the time I get to mandatory minicamp, which is June, first week of June, you should have your answer.
I'm of the guy. I've always been in the mindset that no matter when you talk about football, you don't learn football by watching. You learn football by actively going out, participating, and getting reps. And I think that is the best way anybody learns as an athlete.
And then again, when he became the number 2 quarterback, the fact that it didn't take no reps, not even in the last period of practice where it's a meaningless team period, like that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. The dude's literally one injury away, a shoestring broken away from being in the game. Like you got to give him some rest with the ones. The fact that he didn't get none up until actually the game, that playing in the Ravens game, like that's ridiculous.
Next up, David Walker says, Titus, I think he means Tyvis, but he calls you Titus.
No, he's talking about the dude, the new tackle.
Yeah,
Titus Howard.
He says Titus Howard can't save Jason Lloyd from being Jason Lloyd. The old regime tried to ruin Shador on the field character so they wouldn't have to play him.
And man, shout out to that Tua signing.
Mike, stop pausing after these. Just go to the next one.
Well, if we're going to read them all, I figured you could react to them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all the same thing. What's the,
This next one's not the same.
All right, here we go.
I'm also looking at the clock because I have to stop the stream on Tegna 1 at a certain time. So if you see me looking this way, it's because I'm looking at the clock.
Tegna 1 action.
I3 Epic says, I love the show, guys. Happy you're getting more TV time. Just wondering, will you still be able to keep it loose and fun, or will you guys have to become more PG?
Ooh,
No,
that's
not changing to us.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Now listen, we had the bosses was in here. Like I think we was going at it yesterday, but I mean, that is a question.
I have the answer, G.
What's that?
At least I have the answer to my understanding. Once again, I'm looking at.
All right,
I gotta click a button in 10 seconds. Probably won't be able to curse. It's
we don't
probably
curse
the one
anyway.
thing that will be kind of like watched
We don't
out.
curse.
Other than
Nothing's going to
that,
change.
we are us.
We're not going to change.
Unapologetically,
Oh, well, in that
authentically
case,
us.
No, I'm not
I'm about to
changing.
say,
I'm
I
not
don't
doing
curse.
anything differently.
I don't curse no way.
in that case, I'm ready to say all my little crazy.
There you go. Next.
Next, Neil Gray. Does Bull have amnesia or suffer from Alzheimer's? He said a lot of stuff last year about the quarterbacks. We have it online. Let's not press replay. LOL.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what you said.
Okay, I don't know.
This must be back. I
have no idea.
I don't remember.
All right, go ahead.
Maybe you agreed that Dylan Gabriel.
You think there'd be some context. I never said Dylan. I never liked Dylan Gabriel. There's no evidence.
What about Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco?
No. I mean, maybe Joe Flacco, but
Yeah.
there was never. I never liked Kenny Pickett, and I never liked Dylan Gabriel.
Listen.
So I don't care.
We converted Bull yesterday. I converted him. He said that
He risked up.
Yeah, he said he's gonna likely start. That's what is gonna happen.
Of course, he's likely going to start unless something I'm not expecting to happen happens, and then we'll see.
The way they're operating, either 12 or 4 is playing.
The reaction as if he is a sure thing is just crazy. And that if you even speak about him in a neutral way, you're some evil person, is insanity right now. It's crazy, but it is what it is. So I don't care.
Well,
I care because I'm talking.
You
about
was neutral.
I'm about to say I'm neutral.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Switzerland?
DB
I'm
Dog 21
more so
says,
him.
I think Jason does himself a disservice by sticking to what his source told him and not watching tape. Hall of Fame quarterbacks tape analysis refutes everything Jason was told. So for him to stick with that, it's why people are going at him. New info can change your opinion.
No, it's not. It's because people don't like what he has to say. That's the only reason.
The beauty of it all is we gonna see.
That's
Either y'all gonna be right or Jason gonna be right. One of the two gonna happen.
It's the show counts. It's showdown showcase.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, listen. I've always said this. If you think that he's good or you think he's bad, you know what the best thing about football is? It don't matter what religion you are, don't matter what race you are, how much money you got. The only thing that matters is what happens between them white lines. And what happens between the white lines is going to either put you in a position position to stay there or no?
It's easy to say that, but even this year, the games that Shedeur plays, there was argument about how good he was in these games. There's still going to be arguments. There's still going to be excuses one way or the other.
No. Here's why you're going to get a clear picture. Because you got a brand new arbiter. There's a brand new coaching staff. There's a brand new everything. So a lot of the stuff that people have animus with Kevin Stefanski about not giving him a fair shot, the opportunity to play, they're not going to have that same thing to say because this new coach is going to give him a fair opportunity to show what he can do. And then he want to stand on the merits of that. Right.
And if they going to get the Johns and the Joes,
and they coming with the ingredients, we gonna see it.
You don't think there's going to be arguments?
I'm sure, but it's less likely for you to be.
Well, if it's a bigger sample size, the bigger the sample size is, the less argument.
Right. If the Browns' offensive line is fixed and they got weapons, and Shedeur Sanders doesn't go out there and he got 7 touchdowns to 10 picks. What can they say?
Well, what if the offensive line's not good and he doesn't have weapons and then repeats what he did this year?
Then we're going to be in the same boat.
It can't be worse.
That's why it's so imperative. That's why I always tell people.
And if that happens, they're going to draft a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah, I think it's imperative that you give him, because the more you give the opportunity and you don't give him nothing, if he goes out there and it's a competition with Deshaun Watson and he earns it, then nobody can sit here and say they gave him anything.
And here's the thing, that Shedeur Sanders actually is working against him, or at least in my opinion. First of all, even if the Browns improve at wide receiver and offensive line, they're probably not going to be elite in either of those groups. I think the best we could hope for next year is that they're adequate at wide receiver and offensive line. Mm-hmm. If it's better than that, great. But I think the realistic thing, because there's so many holes in those spots, is that they're adequate in both of those spots. Shedeur Sanders, by the end of next year, assuming he gets this opportunity, earns this opportunity. If he earns this opportunity, he's got to prove that he clearly has to be the starter. If there's questions after next year, he's not getting another year.
That's
probably, you know what I'm saying? If he's clearly good enough, he's the starter. If he's clearly not good enough, he's not going to be the starter. If it's in between, he's not going to be the starter.
I agree. And here's the thing. Yeah. The great thing about it is that's why I like his demeanor. You know what he's doing? He ain't doing interviews. He taking pictures with Jerry Jeudy, getting ready to play. Because that is the energy level that you got to have. Where you drafted at and where you take, is it fair? No. But at the end of the day, the only thing that you can ask for as a man is given a fair share of opportunity. And I think that is the thing that we hammer down on. I think people that's hot about that is, listen, don't tell me it's going to be a fair opportunity and then you know it ain't a fair opportunity. All you can ask for is let me go out there and do my things as a man and put my skills on test against the next person. And if I'm the best man, I'm going to win. And if I'm not, I'm going to shake your hand and say I lost. It's cool. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Mike, next. Stop being distracted by Earl.
Earl has stepped back here. Everyone there's where's Earl at?
Yeah.
Say what's up to the people.
In the perch.
Next super chat. Eddie sent a Deshaun Watson joke in. Should I read it?
Yes.
All depends. I don't know.
If you're going to read 7,000 messages about how Jason Lloyd's a piece of garbage, then read the joke about Deshaun Watson.
I just want to ask. Eddie says Watson's last leg up was the massage parlor.
Trey
Stargel says they say something bad about him. You guys are all ears. The moment G. Bush talk about what others said that's positive, it's all mouth. #weirdos.
That's a lie. Go ahead.
Hard Pressure says, let G know that Billy Schroth, Notre Dame, isn't related to Mark Schlereth, and Kalen Rutledge, Georgia Tech guard, would be a better 3rd or 4th round pick.
I'll take him too. And Billy Schlereth.
Did you say he was related?
Billy Schlereth, the cousin of
Mark Schlereth's cousin?
Mark Schlereth's cousin. Distant cousins, bro. I'll take him too, bro. Give me all them guards.
Dontavius Winston says, it's crazy, G. You started off strong, but you showed how much of a hypocrite you are. These Sanders fans have compromised you bad, but I still love you.
Earl, stupid.
Damn.
Yeah, started off
compromise.
Compromise. Hey, look, bro.
You're compromised.
I have been turned.
Topo42 says, Daniels and Warner aren't in the building. Jason is. He reads a defense once or twice, which means Sanders is good at tape. G. Bush is blinded by his clickbait lust.
Hey.
Oh,
G.
Jason is right. Yeah, that caller is right about the first part. I'm not here for any slander on my teammates.
But I got the clickbait lust. Like that sounds like something I was searching late at night. No, sorry, man.
Next.
Sly gifted 20 memberships, so shout out Sly. That's
Sly.
very nice.
That you got to be on one side of the fence. Like it's
so stupid.
I refuse.
I refuse to.
I refuse.
I refuse to. I'm not doing it.
Switzerland till I die.
It's idiotic. Go ahead.
Sorrow's Cheese says, I was one of the first members of UCSS and Super Chatters. The WKYC app's not available in Germany. It kills me. RIP. G and Tyvis are right. Bulls got to stop.
Oh, we'll have to find out.
Why would it
that.
not be available overseas?
I don't know.
We had a chat too. It's also not available even in Washington, D.C., so we'll have to talk about that.
Add it to the list of questions.
The app's not available in Washington, D.C.?
It doesn't seem like the WKYC app is available outside of the Cleveland area, so we're going to have to
No,
look
that
into
can't be right.
My parents downloaded this morning. So.
I'm just telling you what I saw in the chat today. So.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, my parents downloaded this
That
morning.
makes no sense.
We will look into that.
We got to be in Chocolate City. We cannot be. we must be in Washington D.C. We must be in Atlanta and Washington. We must be.
I got the WKYC.
We got to
Let
be.
me go ahead and update it.
My parents literally downloaded it.
Yeah,
this
no,
morning in Jersey,
that's
so.
wrong. That's wrong.
The international thing.
I don't know about the
I'll look
international,
into.
but it makes no sense.
I'm gonna text my sister right now who lives in Germany. So hold on one second.
Go ahead.
Let me read the next one and then we can. Smooth STP says, G. Bush ain't lying. Trying to shoot an NBA 3 on an NBA court plays tricks on your eyes if you've never done it before. Shout out to Gund Arena high school games.
Boy.
1 second, I'm texting my sister.
Right,
Salute. Back in the day, we played Cleveland Heights up here. And by the way,
win?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
We're the number one all-time winning Division I basketball team in the state.
Like through now or
Now, like
today,
today,
as a program.
As a program, most wins.
What year did you guys start playing basketball?
Since most wins since the beginning of time. Like we the oldest school.
Like 1532.
But we do 1600s.
What are they doing now?
Winning.
Still?
We winning.
Like when you say winning, like
we playing the long game. We're not doing today.
They're not winning a lot. They're not winning that much.
You see, listen, y'all be trying to get me, man. Y'all be doing good, man. Ty, that was a sneaky answer, man. See, what y'all don't understand up here is y'all think this job is easier. They don't understand this is all unscripted. You be up here, you be up in here, somebody catch you slipping. What y'all do last week?
Yeah.
We got three more. The next two are both from Sir Charles T., our friend in Germany. Sir Charles, I've texted my sister who lives in Munich to see if she can download the app. So we'll get an answer for you as soon as she texts me that. He says, I'll read these together. Bull, Tyvis, and G were right. In fact, Jason on November 19th said people in the building told him Dylan was better in tight windows and grasping the playbook. Jay also backed the supercomputer. Daryl Ryder was the only one that said Dylan was bad. Jason constantly said Gabriel was better on this show until he couldn't say it anymore. At some point, stop believing the bad info coming out of the building you call toxic.
He had November 19th. He had Gert's Sided page. Dang. He wrote that down.
All right, next.
5 days
And the
after my
last
birthday.
one is from Eric Hendershot, who says Gabriel threw 2 interceptions this year. Sanders threw 10.
I thought he did.
They
3.
both played poorly, obviously. I thought Shedeur Sanders showed some moments that you said he has potential. Mm-hmm. I thought Dylan Gabriel showed no moments, in my opinion. But they both played terribly, in my opinion. I think that was pretty obvious.
Gabriel's Minnesota game was solid.
Most quarterbacks, to be fair, would have had a hard time having success with this offense. You could see by the fact that Joe Flacco played terribly here and played very well in Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, he looked like the player that we saw 2 years ago here.
Why? I'll ask you guys as we wrap this thing up. Why? I just don't understand why more people wouldn't be like, "Hey, man, last year it's a new coach. I want to be interested in. I can't wait for the spring to see him compete to see what they do."
That's warm, man.
Well,
I can't wait to. I want to see if they've improved.
new year.
It got better.
We'll
It's a
find
new
out.
year, new coach.
We
And
will
we'll
find
We
out.
do a talk show.
the three of us will be back together on Thursday.
Thursday, correct.
Right?
Yes.
We'll see you next
Tomorrow.
time.
You in
Peace.
Thursday?